Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred.
I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. And you think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents, and that's not the reality of it.
I didn't think at all glaucoma was going to affect me because I didn't know of anyone that had glaucoma, no one in my family. When you have glaucoma, you can't get back that sight that you lost. And so early detection and treatment is vitally, vitally important.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a Bright Focus Foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
You're listening to the new 101.7 The Truth, founded in partnership with Associated Bank. Your money works here. 101.7 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station. The place for the realest conversations.
I appreciate United Garden Homes for stopping through with a check for $2,000.
Yes.
Some people came through anonymously.
Yes.
Dropped off money. The family has received those funds. And whatever you can do, if everybody do a little, nobody has to do a lot.
The movement continues.
What are some of the conditions in the jail that got people upset, like the living conditions on a day-to-day basis?
We'll come out of our cell at 11 o'clock in the morning. We'll get food and we'll get medication. So that shortens the time. Out of those 2 hours, we'll probably get an hour out, and then we'll have to lock back down. And by lock back down, I mean we're staying in our cell. We get fed in our cell. We don't come out of our cell at all, and that's pretty much the biggest problem. And they simply say that they're short-staffed, but that's not enough because they knew that they were going to be short-staffed. Like, this has been a problem for over 2 years now.
The marathon continues.
There's never been a better time to make change in the city of Milwaukee, starting with the youth. And we talked about the housing. Willie Hines, y'all boy Willie Hines, and they trying to change the leadership over there. We got our hands full, and it's not the time. But we got attorney B. Ivy Lamar on the lines right now, calling from the courthouse. How you doing, attorney B. Ivy Lamar?
Hey, what's going on, Tory? I'm good, man. Happy to be here.
Joining me on the line, Dr. Umar Johnson. How you doing, brother, Dr. Umar Johnson?
Peace and Pan-Africanism, good brother, Black Power, to all my brothers and sisters in Milwaukee, Kenosha, Green Bay, Racine, and across the state of Wisconsin.
Yo, peace, King. I'm going to stand with you and walk with you, brother.
God bless you.
Because I think it's an important thing, what you're doing, and you need to have the support of the community. Regardless if we live in these areas or not, it all affects us in one way or shape or form.
It's time for that action and all the smoke. This is the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association award-winning Tory Lowe Show on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube.
Man, best show in the world, bro. You got the best show in the world. Hope you know that, man.
God bless you, brother. I appreciate that.
Big up to you both. Thank you so much. Tory, you spoke to my kids. Liz, you did too. But you spoke to my kids, and when I tell you both that they was talking about what we did earlier that morning all day, that's really what they was doing. They was talking about it all day. My son was just hollering, awesome. Where's Tory? Like,
I wanted to make sure that I let you know that to hear a person and have a person like you in this community, the way that you are selfless, the way that you give, even when your cup is not even full, you are filling other people's cup. And that just inspires me to make sure that I help you the best way that I can by doing my part.
As always, my good brother, stay cool, stay calm, stay focused.
Now, live from the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is the king of talk radio, Tory Lowe.
Justice, Wisconsin, the truth, the most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM, the movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory Lowe, the truth. From 1 to 4, we about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice, we want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe. Tory Lowe Show live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. And I'm here for the action.
And nothing but that action.
And I want all the smoke.
Who wants the smoke today?
Salute to all my brothers and sisters on the front lines. The marathon continues.
The movement continues.
How y'all doing out there in Radio Land? How y'all doing in the chat? We got another powerful show for you today. So I'm gonna need y'all to open up your ears, okay? Hey, look, thank you for joining me this Wednesday, March 18th, 2026. We got the community cleanup. It's a month left, less than a month. For the community cleanup, the Tory Lowe Truth Community Cleanup is gonna be powerful. It's gonna be powerful. I cannot wait to see y'all outside. We got a lot going on. April 18th. Mark the date. Shut it down. We're gonna be out there early. We're gonna be out there early. But from 8 to 12. From 8 to 12, we're gonna be up cleaning the city. And I can appreciate servants, those that are born to serve. Everybody ain't born to serve, Truth Nation. Everybody ain't born to serve. But before I get into what I wanted to say, I want to see who in the chat. Let me see who in the chat. How you doing, Kawanda? I see you now. I see you, girl. SE in the chat. Jeff, Lori Patterson. Salute, Lori. Thank you for joining the chat. Uptown Lex in the chat. Reginald, how you doing, Reggie? In the chat, I'm going to tell you this. It's going to be powerful, Truth Nation. I cannot wait until the big community cleanup when April 18th. We're going to shut the city down. We're going to beautify our city together. We're going to walk together. We're going to serve together. We're going to motivate each other. We got a long year coming up, and ain't nothing like a good spring cleaning. And look, the Clean Your Hood Challenge. And to my folks watching online that ain't from Milwaukee, because we got a lot of viewers that's watching the show from other places. Hey, Clean Your Hood Challenge. Clean Your Hood Challenge. Go out on April 18th. If you can't get to the cleanup, to the big cleanup, get one bag. One big garbage bag full of trash. Tag me in it. Tag me in it on Facebook, on Instagram. We got to let our community know this is a part of healing the village. We can't get every last piece of paper up, but we can move some trash off this earth. April 18th. I'll tell you this is how and usually when I see people out doing stuff like this, these are the people I connect with, because these are the workers. These are the people that's willing to roll up their sleeves and get some stuff done. These are the people that I would count on, because these are serving ideas. And it ain't about cleaning up somebody else's stuff. This is about beautifying and reverencing the earth. Beautifying and reverencing the earth, especially the part of the earth where you live. And like I said, we can't get to everything. It's not a personal thing. It's not personal. It's reverencing. It's opening up good energy, and it's working together. And I've never seen an argument break out at a cleanup. I have never seen a fight break out at a cleanup. I've seen fights break out at a party, at meetings, people in there in the meetings with the high blood pressure. I done seen at the family gatherings, fights breaking out. You done did this, you done did that. At protests. I ain't never seen a fight break out at a community cleanup. I'm trying to tell you. Ain't nobody ever argued over picking up paper. I'm trying to tell you, this is the most just servitude way to gain trust and build community favor. And that's what happened to me. I didn't even know that people were going to start calling me for other stuff when I was doing the cleanups. When I started doing cleanups, I just thought that the city looked like a trash can. That's what I thought. I mean, people laugh, it's the truth. I came home from Minnesota, went to grandma's house. Grandma wanted me to go get her something to eat. I went out and drove around. I said, what is going on here? It looked like a trash can. The city was looking like a trash can. I'm just being honest. So I was like, you know what? I right in my spirit, instead of me talking about it, let me start doing something about it. So I started going on Facebook and asking people to help organize the cleanup. Now, when I first started doing it, I was just out there with families who called me from their neighborhood, and it's videos of this. I got a lot of video of this. I'm talking about people would love for you to come and help them clean. So we would go knock on everybody's door. We would get a date. I would knock on everybody's door. We would say it's going to be on this Saturday. Everybody in the neighborhood would come out. The kids would come out. Even some of the corner stores, some of the convenience stores on the block, they would give the kids juices and chips, and it was just a beautiful thing to see, and it was all on nice days. A lot of the days were very nice. It was early, and you could see that people felt good about doing something and having fun, and I didn't think that it was going to translate into somebody calling me for homicides, for missing girls. I didn't think that was going to translate into that. I just started just serving, and then once we was able to get that done, it went, the sky was the limit after that, because everybody called me for everything. I'm talking about, I get calls, you name it, I probably have gotten in a situation and probably came up with some way to resolve it. I'm talking about, it's unlimited. They try to put you in a box, but ain't no box when it comes to the universe. The universal is all encompassing. So once you get the understanding of common knowledge of dealing with people, it hits every aspect of our life. So I was able to deal with almost every aspect of our community just because I was willing to serve. And people, oh, you an advocate, or you this and that. No, that's what they call it. They got to brand black people. Every black person on this earth got a brand. They got to brand them. Oh, that's the nurse over there. Oh, that's the advocate over there. Or that's the rapper. Or that's, it's always a branding idea to almost every black person. Like a cattle. No, I'm Tory Lowe. It ain't no entity, ain't no organization, ain't nobody helping me. It's Tory Lowe. Self-made. I wish I had some help. I wish I had some of this funding that's being misused. I wish I did. I would have did a lot more. I would have did a way more. But I did what I could, what God allowed me to do. I did what God allowed me to do. And ain't no man can take credit for what God is. That's why I tell people, man can't pay you for what God asked you to do. God will give it to you on the back end or whenever he feel like you're done, and he would reward you. But man can't pay you. That's why I never took one penny from nobody who ever asked me to serve. None. In 17 years. That's why I talk the way I talk. That's why I can do what I can do, because I know where the energy comes from. That's why I say it's time to repair the village. We got the tools. We got the energy. We got the power. We gonna do it. Stop allowing false ideas to lead you astray from yourself, from what you can do. It's time. It's time to repair the village. Repair the holes in the village. Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, I got something that I want to point out, and I'm going to talk about it. It's something that kind of, I tried to avoid having this conversation this year, but I got to have it. I got to have it because it's early in the year. It's about leadership. And everybody talk about leadership, but I'm going to get a little bit deeper with this next conversation. Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we're going to have more conversations. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
And that's Tory Lowe, bringing you all the action and all the smoke.
The Brew Crew are back on March 26th.
Uh-oh. Curio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they open up the season against the Chicago White Sox.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness, third deck.
Brewers opening day is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in March 26th at 1:10 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Feeling lucky? Then roll into Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee this March for Lucky Rollers. Every Thursday, we're giving away over $70,000 in prizes. Play with your Potawatomi rewards card for entries, and you can roll out with $550 in reward play. Or get lucky and win your share of $16,000 in cash. Lucky Rollers, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Many of our most important memories are made at school. But for children like Victoria, the classroom can be a place of fear and isolation. She wore a bandage over her cleft every day, too shy to speak, too afraid to smile. Everything changed after one life-transforming surgery made possible by Smile Train. Today, Victoria's smile lights up her classroom, a symbol of confidence, connection, and new beginnings. Due to stigma, children with untreated clefts often miss out on school entirely. But thanks to Smile Train, students like Victoria are stepping into the classroom, raising their hands, and finding their voice. Smile Train partners with local experts to support with free cleft surgeries and other comprehensive care, empowering children to thrive in school and in life. Let's help every child walk into the classroom with confidence. Visit smiletrain.org/learn.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
People's champ. Champ, Tory Lowe, when it all goes wrong, where the people go? Tory Lowe, who's speaking up for those people in the ghetto? Tory Lowe, who is like Kenosha on the front line in the snow? Tory Lowe, who out here righting the wrongs and shining light on these folks? Tory Lowe, who the biggest advocate that Milwaukee has ever known? Tory Lowe, who out here finding these babies and bringing them back home? Tory Lowe,
101.
If you don't know, then you know.
7 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. Now, a lot of times people ask me about leadership, and I always say, I'm not the leader. They get mad. Be you the leader? They say, you the leader? I said, no, I'm not. Because if I was the leader, everybody would be doing what I do. That's all I'm saying. That's how you know. Like, you don't want to be delusional. Like, I'm not delusional. I know that I'm not the leader. I know that I am the helper. I know that I'm the most requested advocate in the state of Wisconsin. I know that I get to do a lot of things that other people can't do because I'm willing to serve. But I'm not the leader, because you got to understand, a lot of times the leadership is selected and not elected. You thought your vote put them in power, but there's a difference. Selected leadership, we got to focus in on what you call selected leadership. These people were placed there to win. And this goes on all over the place. So when people say, Tory, you the leader, I say, I'm not going to take credit for this mess up. Because if I was in charge, none of this would be going on. I don't want to take responsibility for the conditions of the way the city is. And this is what people do. Oh, I'm the leader. No, okay, well, then you're responsible for what's going on out here then. You need to be held accountable. Like, no, no, I'm not. That's why I stay independent. That's why I can do and say what I want to say and vote whoever I want to and do whatever I feel like doing. Because at the end of the day, I got to go out and do or get the results. Ain't nobody I'm calling after they call my phone, unless it's an attorney for them on their behalf because it's a legal matter. I'm working with them. That's where the buck stops. I never got a call and be like, oh, I need to call such and such to come over here. No, we call it, we working with the universe. We gonna get it done. If I have to call somebody else, it may not get done. I learned that a long time ago. You can't call folks because everybody say, hey, Tory, if you need me, call me. And then all of a sudden somebody called me at 2 a.m. in the morning. Ain't nobody up. So I just don't do it. If I see you there, then we can work. But if I'm not going to call you, I'm not doing that, because these are random situations, and you can't have a 9 to 5 and actually touch some of these situations, because some of these situations is happening late at night, 24 hours a day, never off the clock. But we got to determine, is our leadership selected or elected? Now, you got to understand, I'm going to tell you the signs of leadership that's selected and not truly elected. You thinking you elected because you went to the voting booth and they became the person that they kind of coached you in like fight night. You went up there and you paid, or you went and dropped your vote in there. But no, they actually predicted this. They could predict it due to the selections. And these are the things you need to look for. These are some of the things you need to look for if you want to know if your leadership is selected. Signs the leadership is selected. Pre-decided outcomes. Pre-decided. You know it's pre-decided because there's only 2 people. It's a whole bunch of people running. You don't even know who the other people are on the ballot. They struggling to get funding. They struggling to get support. But you know who the 2 main people who are getting the funding, who the unions are backing. You thinking, oh, since they got the machine behind them, they must be the right person. No, they've been selected. The same people or the same type of people always win. That's how you know it's selected. It's the same type of people. And they all know each other from the same group. How come everybody from this group always getting elected? So you telling me that all these other people on this ballot ain't getting heard, can't even get yard signs out here. Businesses is afraid to help them because if they lose, they gonna get backlash. I had some businesses tell me they would love to support other people, but if they do, they got to register the money in the campaign. They always checking who's supporting campaign finances. And then if they see that you went with the other side and then they get in power, then they usually come after the people that supported the person that probably was a better candidate. Favorites. are quietly known before voting even happens, the favorites. The favorites everybody know who the favorites is to win. Selected. The machine behind them. Oh, these two right here, they going to win. Or it's going to be between these two. And there's 11 people on the ballot, 11 people that signed up. You already know, quietly know who the favorites are. Real challengers struggle to get visibility or support. They struggle because everybody playing the game know that the new Jack ain't going to get no money. We can't get behind the new Jack. Even though he might be saying something powerful. They don't want to get caught up in the swirl. They know that the machine, they got to get in where they fit in. They got to get in with the big boys because you a little pup. You still need to grow a little bit. Maybe you need to go kiss the butt of the establishment and if they let you in, we'll vote for you. Kiss the ring. Understand what I'm saying? Selected. Limited or controlled choices. Only certain candidates are allowed to run. We seen that when Verona Swanigan was running for DA. She was a Democrat. But they, a lot of the Democrat leadership went with Chisholm. We could have had our first black woman DA in the city of Milwaukee with attorney Verona Swanigan. But even the Democratic Party went against her. We seen it again with Lena Taylor when she was trying to run for mayor, when she put her name in the hat. Now she a judge somewhere off to the side. She said, forget y'all. I mean, she gonna help y'all in another way. But you seen how the machine turned against Lena Taylor. And they turned against some of the radio hosts that was supporting Lena Taylor. Okay, if y'all was paying attention, y'all saw that too. Y'all saw that too. When the machine get behind somebody, you not finna interfere with that. See, I was never a part of the establishment, so I could do whatever I feel like. I could vote for Donald Trump. I could vote for Joe Biden. I could do whatever I feel like doing, and you can't do nothing about it because you can't stop me because you didn't make me, so you can't break me. Understand what I'm saying? But some people have built their legacy in some of these ideas, and if they go against the idea, they're going to chop their legacy off at the root. And we see it all the time. We see it all the time. Gatekeeping. Behind the scenes, party leaders, donors, power brokers decide who gets the backing. These unions. These are people that you don't see that's pulling the strings. Media, institutions push certain candidates heavily. They give them the big light, the spotlight. They don't give the little dog on, that's trying to get in the game, the spotlight. They try to find the big dogs and put their name all over the paper. Endorsements. They don't get the big endorsements. Understand what I'm saying? Low transparency. They ain't transparent. The selected leadership ain't never transparent. Low transparency. Like the police. When it's you, they're going to show the video. When it's them, you may not never see the video. Low transparency. Decisions happen in private rooms, not in public meetings. When you see something in the public, it's orchestrated. Okay, we can throw that to the public, but with this, we got to have a private meeting. What they say, Casella's had a private meeting the other day. I wonder what happened at her private meeting. Private. We got to talk about this. The superintendent had that private meeting the other day. Little accountability after the selection. Leaders do not respond to the people once in position. This happens all the time. People saying that they voted for this person. Now they ain't answering the phone. They came and kissed the baby. Now you can't get in contact with them. Selected. You know what? We gonna get it in. We gonna get it in when the second hour come in. I'm running out of time. I still ain't done. Selected leadership. I'm trying to give y'all some pointers here today. Some of y'all thought that y'all made it happen. Some of y'all thought that y'all votes is the ones that put them in the seat. But really, you was a bot. Hey, look, when we come back, we're going to have a pop culture report. Truth Nation. Stay locked in.
Don't touch that dial. The Tory Lowe Show will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Redlining happened here. Some neighborhoods are still left behind. When decisions are made about our blocks, our homes, and our families, we deserve to be heard. The Milwaukee County Office of Equity and Empower invites you to help us tell the story of wealth by taking a short survey online. What do you need to build wealth for your family, business, or neighborhood? Take the survey and be entered in to win concert tickets, cash prizes, and more. Take the survey now through the end of March at mkestoryofwealth.com. That's mkestoryofwealth.com.
Discover your new favorite city, Milwaukee. Catch a sunrise over Lake Michigan. Sip your way through craft breweries. And dive into a dining scene that's turning heads. From museums and music to thrilling sports teams and buzzing nightlife, Milwaukee delivers all season long. Good things are always brewing on the Fresh Coast. The expert guides at visitmilwaukee.org have everything you need to fully plan every detail. Whatever it is you'd like to do in Milwaukee. Plan your trip today at visitmilwaukee.org.
Breaking down the issues that shape our city and our future.
The worst kind of whites, not that I'm picking on white folks, but you know how it goes, is the ones that think that they will lose something if this country becomes more fair and equal. I'm going to say that again. The worst kind of white people are the ones that think that if a black person gets a job and gets an opportunity, and they ignore how hard the black person had to work and the racism, the bigotry, and the discrimination, and just how people turn their noses up at smart black people. They hate us. And the black person works really hard and overcomes maybe generational curses of poor health and poverty and all of those things. And we got to deal with the police and the criminal justice system that doesn't often have our backs. And then the black person gets a job, gets an opportunity, and a white person sees that and thinks that they lost. Those are the worst kind.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 to noon. Catch it live on YouTube or tune in to 1017 The Truth.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
There are many times I thought, I can't do this. I mean, what parent isn't worried about? What am I not doing right? What am I not doing enough? And then I realized, wait, that's being a parent.
Don't worry about being perfect. I've had around 3 other mother figures in my life, but only one of them has taught me how a mother loves.
The greatest reward for me is he makes me better every day.
I would tell a family considering adopting a teenager that teenager, whoever it is, needs you, and they need what you have to offer.
Taylor's given me hope. He's our son, and that is what he will always be.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt U.S. Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Xavier Spencer. The Milwaukee Bucks come up short against the Cleveland Cavaliers 123-116. Kevin Porter Jr. had a game putting up 25 points and 10 assists. Doc Rivers says this is a great learning experience for Rollins and Porter Jr.
This is going to be a great learning experience for them in these next few games. They've had it all year. So now they're together. They're both playing. Hopefully we can keep Scoot on the floor the rest of the year. That would be great.
Bucks play the Utah Jazz tomorrow at 8 p.m. The Brewers' home opener is right around the corner after the 2026 World Baseball Classic wrapped up in Miami on Tuesday night. Opening day is next Thursday against the White Sox. Badger basketball earned a 5-seed bid into the March Madness tournament. They kick off the tourney in Portland, Oregon tomorrow at 10:50 a.m. against High Point University. I'm Xavier Spencer, and this is the True Sports Update on 1017 The Truth.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I came to tell you about a story I know. I came to tell you about a hero I know. This man, his name is Tory Lowe. He was sent from the heaven above. This man, he came to give the people love.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. Pop Culture Report. We got Nazir Spencer in studio. Nazir.
You over here grooving.
Hey, look, hey, had my shoulders bopping.
I know, I see you.
It's powerful.
You can dance.
Hey, look, I used to. I can't dance like you, though.
You can't. No,
I already know, because if you like B2K and you like a Mario, I can't get down like that.
I don't dance like a Mario.
I'm talking about
Mario.
I'm just saying, you got this. You got the moves.
I don't got no moves.
I personally now know.
How you know?
Because you told me.
You ain't
you
seen
said
it, though. I can't dance.
I can always tell when a real dancer come around.
Okay.
Because you calm with it. You was like, and then I asked you a few questions. I can ask about a few questions, and I know that you know how to dance.
It's all right. I'm all right.
Have you ever taken dance classes?
Nah.
I just
grew up with it.
Grew up dancing and stuff like that just to impress the girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the Bow Wow era.
You got to.
That's the Millennium Tour era.
Yeah.
You came up with the Millennium Tour.
I'm like early Gen Z, so like right on the brink of Millennium. So like I'm right there.
So you had to compete with all the dudes that was dancing.
Yeah.
Now I don't know what these dances is now. I don't know. They
you got
a lot of twerking, dudes twerking and stuff. I don't know.
That's Milwaukee. That's new
I don't know what that is.
They doing some weird stuff.
But what I'm saying is, back in the day, you had to have some choreography.
Yeah. They don't got no choreography.
You had to do you had to do the crunk. You had to do the the hand, with the chest, with the pulsation.
They don't even know what that is no more. They probably blacklisted those dancers, man.
Oh wow.
But look, we got to start off with some weird news from Kevin Gates.
What?
He says his childhood trauma made him feel his wife should give him more attention than the kids. He was open about it. Like, if you know Kevin Gates, you know that he's a very open man, and that he will talk about anything. If you ask him anything, he will give you the answer that he thinks is appropriate to answer with.
Well, I'll say this: a lot of people feel like, because when you first get with somebody, Now some people get with people who already got kids, so. But let's say you get with somebody and y'all start a relationship and you getting all the love and affection, then all of a sudden y'all start having kids. And they may cut into what you used to get.
Right.
Because now people tired. Now you got work schedules. Kid got schedules. Kid got needs. And
business.
You saying that he jealous of the baby because the affection that's going to the baby.
Yeah, all the
he wants that affection.
Yeah,
he wants all the attention.
He wants all of that, and he's very open about it.
Well, he better not create no kids then, because that's what usually happens when you start a family.
There's a comment in the comment section that says you'd be surprised how many men would never admit they are jealous of the kids. Is this like a common thing?
Well, I think that men feel like their time. Sometimes family activities cut into their time that they want to have. Now, I don't know if that's jealousy or just feeling like, dang, like I'm not getting what I'm used to getting.
Yeah.
And that's about making an adjustment and coming up with a schedule.
Yeah.
Because sometimes guys will feel like, okay, why you can't do this at this time? Why you can't come, and deal with me and show me love and affection at a certain time?
Right.
Because you didn't try to organize. You got to organize when you got children.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah.
And you got to say, okay, this is the parent time unless a huge emergency come up. This is our time, date nights. You could plan it out.
Right.
And usually a lot of men, they don't plan a lot of their intimate time out because they're just up there staring at all of the other stuff that's going on, not seeing that there are times and spaces that you can kind of plan to get what you need, and then you got to make the adjustment because you the one decided to have this kid.
Right.
Then you went in, if you got another one, that's chopping into some more time and things that now you have to be responsible for to do with another child. So my best bet was Kevin Gates shouldn't have never even had a kid, because if he felt that way, or he had one kid and he felt that way, I don't know how many kids he got.
Right.
But the bigger the family, the more that the time divides up.
And I'm thinking, like, what point in the relationship does this start? Because, I mean, you see divorces all the time, and you see happy couples probably going in, left and right. People are just happy, but they didn't have these kids. How long do it take for somebody, or a woman or a man, to get jealous of the kids? Like,
let me tell you something, and it's a thing called postpartum too.
Yeah, that's
where
true. Yeah.
You don't even think about postpartum. A lot of women, I think in the last 7 or 8 years, I started hearing about postpartum.
I started hearing a lot. Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's starting to make the awareness is starting to take over. But I'll tell you this, postpartum is something that happens too, where women kind of decrease in, giving out affection and trying to, preserve things for themselves, or they give it to the child. The child become the main focus. Right. They just became a mother. Their life changed forever. So that's not the same woman that you met, because now she's a mother. She wasn't a mother at that time. So women got to go through a lot
they do.
Once they put a child on this earth. And men do too. We just don't know. We're just not being taught how to make the adjustments.
Right.
And I think that education needs to hit our community too.
I think Kevin Gates, he pretty much explained his experiences as a child, and he says that child trauma can cause this type of stuff. And when you become an adult, you get a little bit more jealous. You want more affection from, the woman figure in your life. So that's his stance on it. But another family issue we have going on, well, not really issue, well, kind of an issue, but DJ Mustard, Mustard on the Beat, Kendrick Lamar, his producer or whatever.
Turn the TV off.
Yeah, turn the TV off, Yeah. He won his custody battle with his kids over his ex-wife. And in the headline, it says win. And I'm just sitting here like, who won? Like, the kids didn't win. That's the whole point of it.
Well, see, this is what's sad about being in a marriage. When you get a divorce, that's when you find out that you was in a business deal. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't know. Like, when you first get married, I love you. Yeah. I'm finna get down on one knee. We about to have a party.
The honeymoon phase.
We about to go on a honeymoon. Boom, 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 boom.
Uh-huh.
But if it all go left,
downwards,
that's when you realize you got to go back to the court to get out of it, and they gonna divide up everything, money, whatever you owe, kids, everything get chopped up.
Yeah.
And that's when you realize you was actually in a business.
Yeah.
But we don't call it that. We don't see, long as y'all boyfriend and girlfriend, that's not really a business.
Right.
Baby daddy, baby mama, you may have to pay some child support. Okay. But
yeah, it's a smaller business.
But when you go get into the fact that you about to get married, that's legacy.
Yeah.
That's everything. Now, a lot of people trying to present the prenup, which is before we get married, this is how we going to handle the kids. This is how we going to handle if we go left. Now, I don't want it to go left, but if it go left, the prenup is there to make sure that even if it go left, things are in order or the way that you feel need to go. Now, if you don't have that prenup, it's up to a judge. You got to take it to the judge, and the judge going to decide how to divvy everything up.
That's a lot of power. The judges have. I never realized the judges had that much power.
You gave them the power when you went and got married.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even realize
They didn't have that power.
Yeah.
They don't have that kind of power. But once you get married, go get a license.
Yeah.
Now you saying, hey, judge, for better or for worse, the judge is going to get involved. That's why he won, because he won the legal battle for his kids. Now, do I think that people should be dragging the kids into the legal battle? Sometimes kids become leverage in legal battles.
That's true.
So that's why I say you got to understand that when you look at a woman or look at a man, you got to look at him as a partner, because a marriage is a business.
Right.
And once you look at that person and say, okay, I'm willing to go into the business of being creating a family with this person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then you got to make that decision. To each his own.
Hey, Dak Prescott did it his way. He didn't even marry the girl. He just cut her. They have kids though, so it might get a little dicey with that. But
look, he not losing half his fortune.
Right. So he's still winning.
I'm just saying, that's why I said, like, a lot of people, baby's gonna come with child support, so you're gonna have to support the kid regardless.
Right.
Well, however you trying to do it.
You gotta do it.
Okay, that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
If you put a kid on this earth, some financial ideas gotta change place.
Yeah.
But when you get married, that's half of that's half.
Yeah. That's a lot.
That's half. That's half of what you got.
Yeah.
She might go write a book about you.
Yeah.
Talk about you snoring that night. She got to sleep on the couch. She might write a tell-all on you.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
that's a man's worst nightmare.
But that's what partners do. Like, it's a business decision.
Yeah.
Your legacy is at stake.
Legacy is huge.
Hey.
You can't let it go. You can't let it be Turner.
Young Money said marriage should be like NFL contracts, 4 to 5 years, and then we'll reinvest if we want to renew.
Wow. Extension?
Oh, wow. Reginald says, I'll share half a sandwich.
Oh, yeah. They different on here.
I'm just saying. Hey, all I'm saying is a lot of people. I was talking to this one guy about he was Islamic.
Okay.
And he was like, they don't do how we get down in America. They wives, they come together in their own traditional ways or whatever. Uh-huh. And they don't go down to the court. I guess this is what he didn't do or whatever he didn't do. But I was like, so they still say that's your wife? He said, yeah. I said, well, what happened when y'all get divorced? He sent her home.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, so when you go to the doctor, do they call her your wife? He said, yeah.
Oh, man.
That's your wife. According to his religious beliefs.
That's a business.
But according to his religious beliefs,
right,
they don't do it the way we do it.
Right.
And that opened my eyes up. So I started reading and started studying that.
You got to study.
Because he was like, I would never put the system in my business.
I respect it.
And some people go right up there right now at the courthouse about to put the people in their business. But that's what you're paying for when you get the license. I'm paying to have a judge.
Yeah.
Put me in the business.
And
if it go left, the judge gonna take me out the business.
Somebody's session probably starting at 2.
Hey, look, when we come back, we're gonna have more Pop Culture Report. Truth Nation. Stay locked in.
You are listening to the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after. An in-depth recap of every Bucks game. In 6 minutes. No more? No less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Miles Turner. And catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
The baked potato just became the main event. At Loaded Spud, we take comfort food and turn it into something bold. Fresh baked potatoes piled high with creative toppings like buffalo chicken, steak and cheese, and classic loaded favorites, all made fresh and built to satisfy. Big flavor, generous portions, no shortcuts. It's fast, affordable, and proudly local. Loaded Spud, Milwaukee's most unexpected comfort food. Stop in today at 789 North Water Street or visit online at www.letsgetloaded.online.
Tacos and Tequila Festival, Saturday, May 30th at Franklin Field, featuring live performances by Shaggy, Rick Ross, Genuine, Soulja Boy, Frankie J, Mims, and more. There will be craft margaritas, Milwaukee's best taco vendors, authentic lucha libre wrestling, an exotic car showcase, a Chihuahua beauty pageant, art installations, and so much more. Tacos and Tequila Festival, Saturday, May 30th. Get your tickets at tacoandtequilafestival.com.
Do you hear that? And that? And that? Those are the sounds of a healthy and vibrant community. And to this United Way volunteer, nothing sounds better. They're the sounds of children being given greater chances to succeed in school. The sounds of neighbors receiving the support needed to overcome challenges, both big and small. They're the sounds of families gaining access to quality health care and nutritious food for their tables. And they're the sounds of members of our community who've benefited from United Way's financial education programs. See, wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. People working together to respond and growing the good for everyone. United is the way. So join us by getting involved or giving back. Learn more at unitedway.org.
At Gruber Law Offices, we've helped tens of thousands of families after a serious accident. Our priority has always been our clients. We're here for you whenever you may need us. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. Pop Culture Report brought to you by Nazir Spencer in studio. Nazir, a lot of dysfunction going on with these Hollywood couples.
We got one major one. Not really major, but like a side couple here. Dwight Howard and Amber Rose Howard, not Amber Rose. People get that confused. Amber Rose.
Yeah,
Howard.
the one that he met that came out and said she was so in love with Dwight Howard after all those accusations that he was with the LGBTQ community.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. I mean, Then he came out with the marriage.
Yeah,
and she said that he was powerful.
He's alleging that Amber Rose stole items from him. Again, Amber Rose Howard. He told authorities that Rose took all of his possessions, a crystal chain, a wedding ring, phones, and money from his car.
I believe it.
And he said that
he kept locking her out, though.
Yeah.
Like she was just on.
Yeah. And
the news cycle talking about calling the police because he keep locking her out the house. So she took that money to survive.
$20,000.
That ain't
nothing.
This man is a millionaire. Come on now.
But
she probably took that money to survive. She probably ain't had nowhere to go.
Right.
And is it really stealing if y'all still married? This is where you gotta. If you stealing stuff and that's your wife, you don't have a prenup.
Yep.
That's her stuff too.
It's a lot of weird stuff going on.
This might be a false report because now, did she take something that he didn't want her to take?
Well,
yes, obviously, yeah.
He took the ring, the jewelry, whatever it may be. But
she got to pawn that stuff. She got to find out where she finna stay.
Yeah, and they filed for divorce last summer.
She's in survival mode.
Yeah. I mean, divorce. Yeah.
To me, because Dwight Howard ain't the best looking. First of all, she loved him because of his provision.
Right,
to me,
right.
I mean, because and now she's about to leave the situation, or is a divorce coming. She's trying to grab whatever she can get because it seems like it's getting messy. She had to break a window to try to get in the house or try to, force her way into wherever they used to live. This was out just a couple weeks ago. So now now he's calling the police on her, saying he got stuff missing. Police can't do nothing about that.
Yeah.
That's his wife.
I mean,
that's a civil matter.
Well, he said this to police. Dwight said that he and his son were planning to leave and do something with his daughter, and he said he went to get his son. And when he came back out to his car, all his stuff was gone. He has 5 children, by the way, so he didn't clarify which child this was that he was referring to. But he got 3 sons and I think like 2 daughters. So, look, it's a lot of weird stuff going on. And I don't know the whole story behind that. I know they're getting divorced. I know they, just always having some issues. But it seems like something always going on with Dwight Howard, man.
All I'm going to tell you is this. Dwight Howard
always
is, when you leave a certain lifestyle, you high profile.
Yeah.
You get involved in certain activities. Yeah. People want to talk about it because they know if they mention your name, they're going to get that 5 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
Especially, I did this with Dwight Howard. You might end up on Tasha K. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
This is the life that when I tell people once you cross that line and become a public figure, people can also come up and say your name and get clicks and views too.
Yeah.
Look at Bro Rilla.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I'm her sister Glorilla.
Yeah.
They gonna air you out on social media because people love the drama.
Yeah. And we got another one, Mystical, in jail for
not again. Mystical.
I don't even want to say it's another sexual assault case.
Another rape case?
Man. Another one.
He just went to jail a while back and got out from a situation like this.
He pled guilty too. He said he told police he need help. Like he just needs. I'm like, bro, come on.
But he tried to tell people a long time ago that he was dangerous.
Oh man.
Do we got a clip of this? He tried to tell folks.
Oh Lord. You guys gotta listen to these lyrics. And people was saying in the courthouse you shouldn't be able to listen to lyrics to convict somebody.
Right.
In this case, I mean, he's telling you, it's dangerous.
He said, "Get on the floor."
Oh yeah. This is a freak man.
And the lyrics, I got to go back and examine what he was saying.
Help the bear.
Yeah, he said that if you see him in the bear in the woods, help the bear.
He said Andrew got a news clip too.
We got some news on this. If You watching as we broadcast live. We got some news on Mystical.
Up the bear.
Back in jail, back in court again for rape charges. Let's listen. Okay, well, Andrew trying to get the video up. Maybe the danger.
It's danger. It ain't letting them do it.
Maybe
helping the bears.
Helping the bear.
Yeah.
Hey, look. Well, I'll say this: he got a problem, but now he facing 20 years, and he might go in there and tackle Big Bubba.
Big Bubba might tackle him.
No, Mystical said help the bear.
Oh, yeah,
if he can fight a bear off, Big Bubba ain't ready for this.
He military trained, right?
He a real soldier. When he was on No Limit, he was in the military at some point.
Man, that's a bad look, man.
I'm just trying to tell you. But I don't understand why Mystical would feel like he would have to do something like that.
I feel like he don't. Like, it's Mystical. You know what I'm saying?
One time I was in Dallas and I seen Mystical at the airport.
Oh, really?
He was walking past. We talked for a second. I told him, keep going on. I thought he was a dope artist.
Yeah.
I didn't know, and this was right before the first.
Oh, man, yeah.
This was before he went in the first time for rape. He was just walking through the airport by himself. And I was flying back to Iowa.
Yeah.
And we just kind of talked for a second. I congratulated him because I liked his music.
Yeah.
And, we just kept it moving.
Is that like a weird feeling that you like met somebody that did some stuff like that?
Nah, because they met me.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I done met 2 Chainz. I done met a lot of people.
Oh, wow. My bad.
Tory Lowe? No, we just, how you doing? Salute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey. It is what it is. I don't feel like I got to,
the bear.
No, I just feel like, stay out of trouble. I always tell people. I try to tell people every time I meet anybody, be safe. Not only from people that have done things in life,
right,
but just the people I get around. Be safe. Stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
Say God bless you. Don't get in no situation that you can't get out of.
Hollywood, the truth been coming out this year for Hollywood. I mean, we seeing, these relationships going downhill. We seeing people coming out and, pleading guilty to some stuff that just shouldn't be done. It's a little concerning. I'm glad I don't live in L.A. You've been in L.A., right?
I've been in L.A. a couple times.
Weird vibes.
It's a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I've been there. It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. It's a weird vibe. I could tell you some stuff off air.
Oh, wow.
I wouldn't say it on air.
Okay.
Because, like I said, I did a lot. I was in a rock band. I got to see a lot. But when I went to L.A., usually it was to, do a deal or a contract, or it was something on those lines.
Yeah.
But I got to get around attorneys and people that behind the scenes that do deals and stuff. So I get to hear a lot. I had to, I turned down a record contract.
Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't want it. I was straight.
Hey.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey.
No Diddy parties here.
No Diddy parties here. I try to tell people, it's a lot I don't say, but God bless.
Yeah, of course.
God bless everybody. It's not. You gotta make sure that you tuned in to what you gotta do and not be willing to give up a lot of things that your intellectual ideas that you're trying to produce. Sometimes you gotta hold on to your intellectual property. And they don't teach us that.
Yeah.
But thank God I was taught that and shown that at a young age, so I always opted to keep my intellectual property.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of Hollywood, real quick, today, the Spider-Man trailer just dropped.
Oh, they about to drop another Spider-Man.
It's
when is it coming out?
July 17th. Hey, our boy Timothée Chalamet, Dune 3 coming out in December, same day as Avengers Doomsday. Just shouting him out because, that's a good movie. Is what I know him for.
That's what's up.
So, good movies that's coming out. I hope everybody go see them in the theaters because the theaters are important. Go watch them.
Well, look, I appreciate you for that Pop Culture Report,
yes, sir.
Nas.
Yes, sir.
Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we're going to open up the lines. Stay locked in.
Thank you, Milwaukee. Because of you, the second annual Truth Community Awards was an unforgettable celebration of the leaders, changemakers, and heroes who make our city shine. A special thank you to our incredible partners, Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks Foundation, Gruber Law Offices, Steinhoffels, Cousins Subs, and 3rd Street Market Hall. And thank you to our presenting sponsor, Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Together, we're celebrating community, culture, and impact. We'll see you next year at the Truth Community Awards.
The revolution starts in our mind, right? When Gil Scott-Heron said the revolution won't be televised, like he He didn't mean that you won't be able to watch it on TV. He means the revolution starts in your mind. You nincompoop. Y'all been running around saying that for 60 years. The revolution won't be televised and didn't even know what the hell it meant. It starts with us.
Let him cook. Watch all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows by subscribing to 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred.
I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. And you think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents, and that's not the reality of it.
I didn't think at all glaucoma was going to affect me because I didn't know of anyone that had glaucoma, no one in my family. When you have glaucoma, you can't get back that sight that you lost. And so early detection and treatment is vitally, vitally important.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a bright, focused foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
70 million people in the U.S. have learning and thinking differences, like ADHD and dyslexia. Each has their own story. This is ours. At first, I thought it was just a phase. Then schoolwork became a struggle. Emotions got bigger, and my kids started falling behind. I felt alone, like I was lost in the dark trying to find answers. Then I learned about Understood.org, a nonprofit empowering parents and kids like us. It was like we had a light to show us the path ahead. Whenever new challenges came up, their guidance helped us figure out our next step. We still have tough days, but now we have direction. And I have the tools and resources I need to help my child thrive. No matter where you are on the path, Understood can help you keep moving forward. Visit understood.org/yourpath today.
You are listening to the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Justice, Wisconsin, the truth, the most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM, the movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory, Lowe, the truth. From 1 to 4, we about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice, we want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory, Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready.
1017 The Truth. Tory Lowe. Tory Lowe Show live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. The movement continues. The marathon continues right here on 1017 The Truth. Thank you for joining me for the second hour of the Tory Lowe Show. And we ran out of time in the first hour when I was talking about FD leadership. You got to understand if the leadership is selected or elected. Now, elected means they came from amongst the people and rose to power. But many times, leadership is selected and you just sealed the deal with the vote. And I want to talk about that because I ain't pointing fingers at nobody. I ain't saying nothing, but I'm going to just throw that out there so you can tell the difference between selected leadership and we know what elected means. If they came and it was raw and it was from the, they wasn't even a part of the establishment or they was not too close to the establishment, they ain't won because the people, all power to the people. You could tell that too. Because then when they get in there, everybody against them. They wasn't supposed to be there. So every time you look up on the news, they trying to, come up with a way to get them out.
looking at their campaign finance report and stuff like that. Like, they gonna get you out of there. You not gonna come in raw. Because they know the game. You just learning the game. So if they don't get you, if you somehow be able to get up in there without being a part of the establishment, they gonna get you. I'm trying to tell you, it's a million and one ways to get you. You gonna have to walk soft. You gonna have to walk soft up in them buildings. Because it's chess, not checkers. And when you get in these elected positions, it's chess. It's some real people that really been doing this for years, and you just got in there. You gotta walk softly. Hopefully you got a mentor or somebody that believe in you enough to really help and coach you to work your way through all that mess. But if you ain't come through the establishment, you got to keep your head on the swivel. I'm trying to tell you. They told me if I ever got up in there, I'm going to have to keep my head on the swivel. I said, man, look, I don't even do much anyway. I'm going to need somebody that's going to kind of keep me, that's kind of, that's been in the game, may get somebody retired to try to help me work my way through some of it, but, till I get the hang of it. But when you come in there fresh, you done walked into the den of vampires, I'm trying to tell you, and you might think you finna say today, but they're going to stop everything you trying to do, especially if everybody got a vote on it. You may not get nothing done. But I want to continue the conversation. Between selected leadership and elected leadership. And when you talk about pre-decided outcomes, we talked about that. Pre-decided outcomes, some people or different people from the same group, it may be a different person, but they from the same buddy squad. They hang out together. Up next, everybody know who the favorites is. Media. Putting them in the spotlight. Not talking about the other people. It's probably like 6 people on there and you only know 2. 6 people that tried to run and you only know 2 of them. And then you find out the person that's the 5th one, but you can't get behind them because you already done seen the media and you're like, oh, you ain't finna win. They ain't even talking about you on the news. Because why? Because the selected is already going to hog up all the media time in the newspaper. The gatekeepers behind the scenes pulling the strings. It's some people that you don't even see pulling the strings. Party leaders, donors, power brokers. They decide who get the backing, who get the, what they say, the union button. Who don't have to pay for getting lit drops. They get the big endorsements. If you didn't hear what I was saying in the first hour, Lena Taylor. Y'all know Lena Taylor was trying to run for mayor, and y'all see what happened to her. Verona Swanigan tried to run for DA. Y'all see what happened to Verona Swanigan. Tried to be the first black female DA in Milwaukee history, and the party didn't even back her. She was a Democrat. Lena, Democrat. And anybody that tried to, get behind Lena, they, you know what I mean? Now I'll tell you this. It's a dirty game, especially when they're funding. You need alderman, you could probably get an alderman position. You probably need, you could probably, if you got like 20,000 or something like that, you could probably run a good automatic campaign. If you working with social media, you know what I mean. You're not just for to go and knock on everybody's door and win that. You gotta have a little backing behind you. At least somebody doing the flyers or some kind of help. But when you start going up to like mayor, Congress, Senate, you gotta have some backing. And usually, if you ain't in a group that has already got the PACs to win that, you're not fit to win. You got to be in to get in to win. Maybe on a local level, you could probably break through. Maybe get a county executive seat. Get on a county board. Maybe even a common council seat. If you really, can, have an impact on the community. You could probably get a common council seat, but they're gonna fight you tooth and nail. They're gonna put all the dirty. They got a whole machine. They gonna if you stole from your grandmama, they gonna put it out there. They do not want you to get in. They say then once they get in, this is how you know it's selected. This is what they said. Little accountability after selection. They made all these big promises. I'm finna change the world. Then all of a sudden they get in and you can't even call them. You can't get nothing. You can't get a call back or nothing. Leaders don't respond to people once in position. Community input doesn't change outcomes. Community input doesn't change the outcomes. That's why when I say when they have y'all going to the meetings, community input, but everything still remain the same. Look, okay, I ain't got to name no names. Look out the window. Look out the window. This ain't nothing personal. I'm trying to tell you what selected leadership look like. Community input doesn't change the outcome. Y'all, how many meetings you gonna go to and say the same thing you said 10 years ago? How many times you gonna come with the high blood pressure and nothing change? That's it. That's all. That's how you know it's selected. Community input doesn't change anything. The same problems continue regardless of who's elected. This is what they said. Selected leadership. No matter, you could talk to you blue in the face. Ain't nothing gonna change. Selected. Now, if it's elected, you might get some changes. Because they gonna go in there and go against the status quo. They gonna go in there, they don't know the donors. They didn't get in there from the endorsements. They done came in from the side. The people didn't put them in there. So you might get some outcomes. They gonna fight them. But you might get something out the deal. Understand what I'm saying? Now I'll say this. If you want to know, this is a test. This is a test. If you want to know if your leadership is selected, did the people truly choose from unlimited options, or did someone choose the options first? Was the options chosen and then they was presented, or did this person rise up through the community? Now, they always say that the person from the neighborhood. Every candidate got a story to please the constituents that they're trying to get to vote for them. They're going to find a story. I'm from this block. I'm from this neighborhood. We had to go through this. We had to go through that. We had to go through the struggle. It's going to sound powerful. This is how they get you. You get excited. You see the flyer hit the mailbox. You got to smile. You know you got to take the headshot. They say the headshot is like 70% of the game. when that headshot come and you see that smile, some of y'all like to smile. He looks so nice. He looked like a nice man. He looks so handsome. I'm just saying. This is what they said. They was a part of the pipeline. This is what they say. They saying that if it's selected, this is how you know. They say in Milwaukee, many leaders don't just appear. They come through a pipeline. They come through the pipeline. Maybe city hall staff. They was on appointed boards. They was in elected office somewhere else. They was probably from a nonprofit. Had political endorsements. Ran other campaigns from behind the scenes. It's up. Who up next? It's who up next? Who we got in here for the run for this seat? And then they usually run for the seat where the incumbent endorsed the person before the elected. Hey, I'm leaving, but this is my guy right here. See, that's selected. They already leading you to the other person. Understand what I'm saying? This is the real talk. Hey, you ain't got to put no names on it. I'm just telling you the game. We just talking about the game here. Maybe an activist come up. They didn't start it. Now they see that, the activists got a lot of trust, so they'll create some activists. Everybody an activist now. Everybody saying they're an advocate now. I need to go where the trust at. When Jesse Jackson and Martin Luther King and Al Sharpton, when they made the reverend and the minister popular, everybody was a reverend, everybody was a minister. Everybody became a pastor because that's where all the trust was. Once Martin Luther King got shot, everybody wanted to be a minister. Everybody wanted to have a powerful speech. Now nobody don't trust that. So what's happening now that everybody kind of seen the trust until after Black Lives Matter? Now you don't hear the activists, Activists became a strong word. Everybody activists now. Next thing you know, advocate. Now I'm an advocate. Everybody an advocate now. They trying to find where the trust at so they can set their people up so they can use the title. They on the campaign flyer with the bullhorn, knowing dang well they ain't never showed up at no protest or never organized a protest, but they playing in your face. I seen this. I seen people do it. The funding was a huge issue. We gonna talk about the funding when we get back. We got Alan on the lines. Can we take Alan? Let's take Alan. How you doing, Alan?
It's a huge issue. Funding. We got money. That's the thing they don't like. When we get back, we got
Alan, turn down the radio. We can hear you, Alan. Alan.
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Hey, turn the radio down. We trying to listen to you.
Oh, let me turn it off.
Okay.
There you go. Sorry about that.
How you doing, brother Alan?
Hey, you know what? I just want to say this, Tory. You are like a breath of fresh air. I'm going through this up. I'm just going to say this real. The Milwaukee Common Council, the Milwaukee City, it is a cesspool. You got these people who look like you, look like my wife, look like all my neighbors. They come around, they shine you on, they get elected, and they don't do one thing. They don't do one thing for neighbors. Where I live in the 1st District. I ran a recall on our sitting alderwoman, Miss Pratt. And I like Miss Pratt. I've never in my life voted for a Democrat. She came to my home when she first got elected after Hamilton abdicated to go stop violence. She came to our home because I'm going around with these developers. I was at a meeting and I saw something, right? Something happened. And nobody will address what happened, but at the same time, they won't bother me. But she came to my home. She said, Mr. Beckman, how are you? I'm Miss Pratt. And I said, hey, how you doing, Miss Pratt? I know who you are. And we sat down and talked. The first thing she asked me, she said, what do you want? And I said, I want these developers to come clean to my neighbors and quit playing games and let's start all over because this was never properly rezoned. She helped us for till right around last Christmas. And then some things got hot because these guys I was holding these guys off long enough. They're about to lose their WHEDA grants, which is a whole other story, how white guys got minority grants.
Oh, wow.
Let's go. We can talk about that. But I've been trying to get people to talk about this for almost 7 years. I've been doing this. Nobody, they all give you lip service. The mayor knows who I am. The city attorney knows who I am. The thing they can't do, because I got this in my back pocket, what they did, right? They basically rubber stamped a rezoning. And I got it. They can't discount that because I was at the meeting when it happened. There's no notification to none of us. So you have an entire neighborhood of black people, right, including my wife and them, who get denigrated by these white developers who can't talk to me any which way because we got money too, so I really don't care. A guy came to my house, a white man. You know what he told me? He said, we did not know you lived here, Mr. Beckman. I said, what? I popped a cork. What do you mean I live here? How about all my neighbors? How about I just got them today. They had a big piece of construction equipment parked illegally on 42nd Street for about 2 weeks. When I said something that somebody might get hurt, like children play around here, you know what the guy looked at me? One of the construction guys looked at me and said, people ought to watch their kids. And I said, what are you talking about? Because they're black people, they ought to watch their kids? My kids were black. Everything you talk about, I do, but I'm a white guy doing it. So imagine what I'm going through doing some of this stuff. But I'll tell you what, my alderwoman won by 17 votes, and this can all be verified. I got 2,100 signatures by myself doing a recall that the networks would not touch Nobody would touch it. But yet when I watch the news, they have a blurb about some Yahoo you never heard about. Now, think about this. Royalty, Milwaukee political royalty is Miss Pratt. And I don't care. She knows who I am. But if she talked to me afterwards, she said, Mr. Beckman. That's, I don't care who, I'm Alan Beckman. But at the end of the day, she asked me at a meeting, I said, Miss Pratt, can we talk for a second? She said, yes. And I said, she goes, you hurt my feelings. I said, what do you mean? I said, I had to do that, and I told her why. We need to have somebody look at this stuff. Why do you think Ashanti Hamilton left a year ago for no reason whatsoever? And I can give you a timeline, and I can show you things stamped by the mayor. Within 2 days, he was gone. And this is deep, and nobody will help us. I got me doing it all by myself. The police can't come bother me because of what I got on them, because I want to go to court more than anything, but they won't do it. So now I got to come out of my own pocket and start funding attorneys, which I'm lucky to do. But I will tell you this, 17 votes is easy to make up, especially when probably 25 or 30 came from me going out and canvassing for a Democrat, which is something I will never do again.
Oh, wow.
Now, people can win. My wife is drop dead gorgeous, and they can't call me racist. That's what they want to do, right, at meetings. But I preempted that by walking around and getting 325 signatures of my neighbors back in 2020 who did not want this thing. Not one person wants this. But you got these two black developers, Anderson Webb, I'll say their name, they're a public company. They show up at these meetings, and what they do, these guys teach they go to Marquette, and Marquette, UW, because Marquette, they said they're on the staff at Marquette. Well, I called Marquette, and the president of Marquette called me back personally and said they're not on, they never were. And then he basically told me what they do. They rent a room so they can be on the syllabus for you can take a class, what it was called the ACRE program. They teach minorities. Up by us, it has to be blacks, and they teach them how to apply for these government grants, right, for old schools to turn them into low-income housing. Then as soon as they get the grants, they sell the grants. The grants go to this thing called Wisconsin Redevelopment. Then it goes to a construction company called Selzner Orns.
Oh, wow. Whew. Hey, look, we gotta go to break. Hey, Alan said a lot. He said a lot. Sometimes, if we on this topic, we on the topic of leadership, and he just was talking about his experience with the leadership that he's dealing with in his neighborhood. Hey, look, when we come back, we'll have more discussion. I want to finish this. I want to talk about the funding and endorsements when we talk about selected leadership and elected leadership. I want to continue this conversation because I'm almost done. I got a couple more points left. I'm going to get to it when we get back. I'm going to get to it as soon as we get back. Truth Nation, stay locked in.
You are listening to The Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Need a way to hype up your day?
Hello, is this Shirley?
This is she.
Shirley, you are our Gruber 5K giveaway winner this quarter. Congratulations.
What would you do with $5,000?
Going to look at buying me a pickup truck. That will be some of my down payment.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
I love you guys.
The baked potato just became the main event. At Loaded Spud, we take comfort food and turn it into something bold. Fresh baked potatoes piled high with creative toppings like buffalo chicken, steak and cheese, and classic loaded favorites, all made fresh and built to satisfy. Big flavor, generous portions, no shortcuts. It's fast, affordable, and proudly local. Loaded Spud, Milwaukee's most unexpected comfort food. Stop in today at 789 North Water Street or visit online at www.letsgetloaded.online.
Tacos and Tequila Festival, Saturday, May 30th at Franklin Field, featuring live performances by Shaggy, Rick Ross, Genuine, Soulja Boy, Frankie J, Mims, and more. There will be craft margaritas, Milwaukee's best taco vendors, authentic lucha libre wrestling, an exotic car showcase, a Chihuahua beauty pageant, art installations, and so much more. Tacos and Tequila Festival, Saturday, May 30th. Get your tickets at tacoandtequilafestival.com.
A message from Tia Mowry, actress and Fair Celebrity Ambassador.
Game day isn't staged, it's lived. It's the shopping, the cooking, the laughter. For families managing food allergy, that same spirit of preparation means everything. Because food allergy isn't a lifestyle. It's a serious, life-threatening disease that can change everything in a moment. But being ready changes the story. It's knowing the signs, having a plan, and carrying epinephrine everywhere life takes you. Epinephrine is the only treatment that can stop a severe food allergy reaction known as anaphylaxis. It works quickly to reverse the symptoms and can save lives. As families and friends gather for the big game, we see what community looks like. It's one built on awareness, care, and love in action. Because readiness doesn't take away the risk. It brings back the joy. When you're ready to act, you're ready to live.
Visit foodallergy.org/ready to act to learn more.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tryna do what I want, do what I feel. Tryna do what I want.
1017 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. Hey, look, we talking about selected leadership versus elected leadership. Was your leadership selected? Was it pre-programmed? Did you just get in line like a bot and just cast your vote for somebody you didn't even know? You just got excited about the campaign. You got excited about the heavyweight matchup. You thought you was had fight night that night. You watched the poll results like, I want to see who won. You got the popcorn and the soda because you was caught up in the marketing strategy. Did you once think, is this person going to operate on my behalf? Do they have a history of doing the things that you want to get done? Hey, that's something you got to ask yourself. But I want to talk about the funding. When you between selected and elected. Selected, they said campaigns, they ain't cheap, even local ones. Candidates backed by donors, unions, and organizations. They get better ads, they get more exposure, a stronger ground game. If you trying to get elected, someone like you might not have access to the money or the backing. People that don't have the backing of these donors, these unions, these organizations, they rarely break through. They rarely break through. They rarely get an opportunity to get some shine. Endorsements carry heavy weight. Political groups, hey, I endorse this person. They run the commercials. Hey, I'm such and such, and I endorse this candidate. The churches, even if it go against some of their religious beliefs, they endorse it. they want a piece of the pie. They got in with the status quo. The churches coming out, and then they trying to use the Bible to back up why they did it, knowing that some of that stuff, some of these policies and stuff go against their religious beliefs. I see it all the time, but they're going to justify it. Mo, the elephant in the chat, says, question for you, Tory, which one comes first, selection or election? Well, most of it is selected, I think most of our leadership in the black community is selected, if you want me to answer, if you want me to tell the truth. The selection comes first. They select, this person is already pre-selected. They had already went in the back room. We're going to do this for you. You're going to have this endorsement. We're going to put you in the machine. All you got to do is sit back and smile, take some good headshots. Shut up. Don't get out there and do nothing crazy. And you're going to win. We didn't put 5 people in this engine before you, and they done made it. So sit back, talk to such and such, and go get some headshots. That's what you need to, and smile too. They like when you smiling on the headshots. They don't want it's the community falling apart, and you got a big cheese on your face on the flyer. But people like that. People like that. Like, it looks like a handsome young man. Hey, look. I guess we got to run the break, but when we come back, I want to talk about how the visibility is controlled, where a lot of the candidates, if you can't get the backing, don't even nobody know who you is.
You excited because you got on the ballot, but you ain't got no visibility. Don't nobody know who you is. I done seen folks come up to me. I'm at Walmart. Talk about they running for office. Where your yard signs at? Well, I ain't got this, I ain't got that. They ain't backing me because, and they started to, you shouldn't have ran then. You should have saved up at least 10 grand. Like, if you ain't saved up your own personal money to run, ain't nobody gonna feel no empathy when the machine is out. When the machine is out, hey, I hear what you're saying. It sounds like you begging to me. It sounds like you need a few dollars. Sounds like you need to have a can in your hand at that point. You got to prepare. Hey, look, when we come back, I want to talk about selected and elected leadership, the difference. We're going to continue the conversation. This was actually a shorter segment than I thought it was going to be, Andrew. But when we come back, I think I can get it round up. I'm going to round this up. Truth Nation, stay locked in.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Thank you, Milwaukee. Because of you, the second annual Truth Community Awards was an unforgettable celebration of the leaders, changemakers, and heroes who make our city shine. A special thank you to our incredible partners, Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks Foundation, Gruber Law Offices, Steinhoffels, Cousins Subs, and 3rd Street Market Hall. And thank you to our presenting sponsor, Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Together, we're celebrating community, culture, and impact. We'll see you next year at the Truth Community Awards.
Many of our most important memories are made at school. But for children like Victoria, the classroom can be a place of fear and isolation. She wore a bandage over her cleft every day, too shy to speak, too afraid to smile. Everything changed after one life-transforming surgery made possible by Smile Train. Today, Victoria's smile lights up her classroom, a symbol of confidence, connection, and new beginnings. Due to stigma, children with untreated clefts often miss out on school entirely. But thanks to Smile Train, students like Victoria are stepping into the classroom, raising their hands, and finding their voice. Smile Train partners with local experts to support with free cleft surgeries and other comprehensive care, empowering children to thrive in school and in life. Let's help every child walk into the classroom with confidence. Visit smiletrain.org/learn.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Xavier Spencer. The Milwaukee Bucks come up short against the Cleveland Cavaliers 123-116. Kevin Porter Jr. had a game putting up 25 points and 10 assists. Doc Rivers says this is a great learning experience for Rollins and Porter Jr.
This is going to be a great learning experience for them in these next few games. They've had it all year. So now they're together. They're both playing. Hopefully we can keep Scoot on the floor the rest of the year. That would be great.
Bucks play the Utah Jazz tomorrow at 8 p.m. The Brewers' home opener is right around the corner after the 2026 World Baseball Classic wrapped up in Miami on Tuesday night. Opening day is next Thursday against the White Sox. Badger basketball earned a 5-seed bid into the March Madness tournament. They kick off the tourney in Portland, Oregon tomorrow at 10:50 a.m. against High Point University. I'm Xavier Spencer, and this is the True Sports Update on 1017 The Truth.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Seven The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. We talking about selected leadership and elected leadership, and I'm almost done with this because I just need y'all to understand when you get out there and you get to clapping and you start jumping behind candidates, and then you look up and you don't see no changes. You got to understand the difference, or things kind of remain the same because you're just electing a continuation of the previous idea. And if you always say, "Oh, why the community look like this and why this ain't happening," it's probably because of you, because you keep putting in the people that's causing the environment that you're looking at. That's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people. But you can't keep doing the same thing over again and expecting a different outcome. That's insanity. So, like I said, I just wanted y'all to understand that there is selected leadership. It's already predestined. And it's elected where this person has your best interest. You went and elected somebody that's going to have your best interest and make some real change. That's a real election. Not a selection, an election, where you got a right to go out here and choose the person that best represents the direction of your community. Understand what I'm saying, Truth Nation? Sometimes y'all done got swarmed in, y'all done got bodied out. But I want to get into these final ideas of selection and election, and then I'm out. I'm only gonna run this because I try to stay away from the conversations like this. I try to stay away from it. When you got selected, they got high visibility. They all over the place. They got the backing, what they call the war chest already. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some of these campaigns can get up to millions of dollars. Once the machine get behind you, they don't care about losing all that money. All of a sudden, they ain't got no money for the programs in the community, but they got millions of dollars for these campaigns, whether they win or lose. Money start popping up. Organizing, fundraising, everything start happening. Understand what I'm saying? So the visibility becomes greater for the selected. And we play the game. We fall into it. Y'all think y'all got a heavy stake in a selected individual, while the elected individual knocking on the door trying to tell you, I'm from the block. I'm not a part of the establishment. I'm trying to make some real change here. And you looking on the news, you close the door from talking to him and look on the news, and you don't see him on the news. You feel like he ain't gonna do nothing. She ain't gonna do nothing. Okay, well, it look like we may have a fire alarm going off inside the 3rd Street Market Hall. Did they make it out? Did they make it on the airways? A fire alarm. See, it was getting hot in here. The lines was getting smoky.
I'm too excited.
Look, I'm trying to tell you, like, once we start identifying this, then we can move different. And some of y'all need to understand that you've been caught, whether you Democrat, Donkey Gang, or Elephant Gang, or Republican, they both got machines going. But on the local level, it's supposed to be neutral. It's supposed to be neutral and only for the best benefit of the constituents in the districts. Or, if you're going for a state idea, that person is supposed to be the best selected for what needs to happen in that portion of the state. This is why we got to regroup, rethink, and reshape and repair the village, because now we need real leadership in today's times. Not all that shucking and jiving that's going on. Not all that sniggling and giggling and buddy. We need real outcomes. We see the kids on the news, issues with the youth. We see the elders on the news screaming for help. I got an elder right now that called me, and I ain't want to talk about this. They own their house, and they being robbed by the HOA, and they desperate. They need help. They put all their money into this place for their final years. They called me, Tory, I need your help. I need somebody. I can't get nobody. I called the alderman. I called all of these people, and they never came. And it's several of them. It's not just one. It's just the one, but it's several of them. And they really need my assistance to come in and shake a lot of this up. But like I said, we in times where we got to start paying attention to what's happening in our community. And we need people that we elect to fight for what's going on in that section that they have dominion over. And we need outcomes to say, okay, we're improving. We're making a difference. Every year we should say, okay, we got this done. We got that. We got to continue to try to stack results. We got the caller on the lines. Let's take the caller. How you doing, caller?
Hey, Tory, how's it going, brother?
Blessings, brother. How you doing?
Well, when it comes to colonization and a republic such as the United States of America, politics runs from the top down, and which means, for example, during the Reconstruction, you had federal government that protected black people who were able to send 1,500 black men between the year after slavery and 1877 into places of power. But what you had was always, within our community, before we even got here, there were people who sold their neighbors. And so that has to be rooted out first. There are descendants of slave sellers who are black that are in our community. This has nothing to do with party or any of that, because colonization and slavery was wrong. And, currently there is one side that's trying to convince everybody that slavery wasn't that wrong. And I'm not even going to name which party that is. I think you know.
Right, but there's one side that actually had my grandmother in slavery, my great-great-grandmother in slavery.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. When you think about the time frame in which we have even had rights on the books, Tory Lowe, to be full citizens, it's about 60 years, 1967, the summer of 1964 and 65, when we actually got civil rights in this country, which means that you are a legal citizen. Well, and there are so many people.
A lot of people will argue, since we got civil rights, we can't even get a corner store in our community.
Well, let me say this.
That's integration.
Because of that legislation, black education has gone up. There are fewer white men that are going and graduating from Harvard right now than ever. And so black women and men are educating themselves more, going to prison less, and the population of white women in prison is going up. But that's another different conversation.
That's a whole other we talking about leadership, selected and elected. Yeah.
Lena Taylor is a good example, who was not selected to be our mayor or our governor.
Right.
But if you look at her track record and the things that she has convinced people on both sides of the Republican and Democratic Party to do that benefit people in Milwaukee, there are people in Milwaukee who have doubled their income because of this lady. She has hundreds of pieces of legislation that she's put forward.
But when it was time to vote, they did not jump behind her.
And what I'm going to say, when you say they, there's another issue. There are so many people who think it's okay not to vote.
Well, I'll say this. Hold on. I'll say this. She was not endorsed by even her own party.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about.
So what I'm saying is the machine jumped on the other person, and she was left out, even though she was a part of that party. The machine chose, selected. Yeah. So we talk about selected leadership and elected leadership, and when the machine jump behind somebody, that's
she's
selected.
Like Val Phillips. Would you agree?
Yeah.
If you look at her track record,
she was on those lines. Yeah.
If she retired tomorrow, she would be like Val Phillips, and I think there are people writing books about her right now. She's a fighter who believes in the people, and like you said, she was not selected. And the man who got that job, both of the jobs, neither of them could carry her briefcase.
Also, Verona Swanigan, attorney Verona Swanigan ran for DA. She was a Democrat, a member of the Democrat Party, and she was not selected.
Ran against the man you say was trash, right?
Okay, so what I'm saying is,
who was former,
I use my social media to push Verona. I made a whole commercial for Verona Swannick.
But just a recent election I want to point to, in Texas, there are actually enough black people to elect whoever they want. Houston has one of the highest black populations in America. But there are people who go on social media and try to convince these people that voting against something that will be worse is foolish, and that we have to stop.
Well, I'll say this. I know what election you're talking about, but what came out was, hold on, caller. What came out was that the Hispanic community came out against her.
And
okay,
typically,
and that's a whole nother conversation too.
Typically Texas has a 25% voter turnout rate overall. So it's a state where they suffer because they're foolish enough not to vote. That's why they have poor health care. Like, you hear a lot of people talking about going down there because they know some people who started businesses there. Those are people with capital. But people who are hardworking, middle-class people, they suffer down there. But I know some people who come back up here for health care because the health care system is so bad in Texas. So it's just, I think not voting is foolish. And sometimes the worst one, vote against him or her.
I'll say this. It's a lot of politics to a lot of this. I wouldn't put the burden on people that's voting or not. I think when the machine get out there, they know they're going to get a certain percentage of the people. And if they wanted Jasmine Crockett to win, and I know you're referring to Jasmine Crockett, I don't even like Jasmine Crockett. But what I'm saying is she didn't get an endorsement from Obama. She didn't get the endorsements from the top leaders in the party, knowing that was a big Senate race. So, okay, let's talk about it. The machine wasn't behind her. They left her out there. Cardi B. I think she got an endorsement from Cardi B. That's the only big endorsement I've seen. Okay, so if you want to talk about it, we can talk about that. I'm just talking about elected and selected. I'm not putting a face on it. I'm just trying to get you to understand that there are tiers here, and once you can recognize the tiers, then you can maneuver different. Hey, look, when we come back, we'll have more conversation. Truth Nation, stay locked in.
You are listening to the Tory Lowe Show on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Breaking down the issues that shape our city and our future.
Another function of white supremacy, don't teach black people stuff, because if you give us a little bit of knowledge, we'll invent something totally new. That's why it was illegal to teach slaves to read, because if we could read, then we could write. And if we could write, we could communicate. And if we could communicate, we could plan. And if we could plan, we could strategize. And if we can plan and write and read and communicate and strategize, we could overthrow white supremacy, because they've always known how fragile it is.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 to noon.
The legendary Broadway show is back. The Wiz.
He's on down, he's on down.
The Chicago Sun-Times raves. It's an eye-popping, high-intensity revival. The music, the voices, the legend returns. Entertainment Weekly says, run, don't ease on down to this spectacular revival. The Wiz. Playing the Marcus Center, March 24th through 29th. Tickets at marcuscenter.org.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, You made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Serious truck crash? Call Gruber Law Offices today.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Know what Tory got? Tory Lowe. And he on the scene. Same clothes, no time to change. What you needed ain't no thing. Tory's here, there is no fear. Oh, we put it on God. And that's no facade. He on the block, 24 on the clock. He never stop, body rock. You never know what Tory got. Tory Lowe.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. Hey, another powerful conversation. We talking about leadership being elected and leadership being selected on the show today. So, it is nothing to target anything. It's just so you can understand that there's a couple things going on before you cast your vote. We got Al on the lines. How you doing now?
I'm doing wonderful. I know I heard you bring up the Hispanics, but you do know the number one goal for a lot of Hispanics who identify as white is whiteness and Christianity, right?
Hey.
And they're not too big. And they're not big fans of blacks. But I was going to ask you, what do racist white people and white people look at? What do they call Hispanics? You going to say the word? You going to say it?
I'm not going to say it out.
No, you should. No, you should say it because this is the truth. Because this is the truth, and it needs to be.
Well, I just say that they look at them as another voting block that they can gain access to.
They
or
look
whatever.
at them as. But we also know with Hispanics, their number one goal is to whiten the population and to gain whiteness and identify as white along with.
And I've heard some say they can check the white box too.
Yeah, but my question is, because this is the truth, and I know a lot of these. I know Eddie is not going to say it. I know your other caller is not going to say it. You know what they refer to as? You know what they call Hispanics? They call them foreign niggas. That's what they call them. Okay, and this is not me saying. This is how they talk. And guess what happened? They still deported them anyway. And a lot of them feel they're better than blacks. And they got balloon mortgages. And they cheat on their wives just like the white men do, too. So when people say the Hispanics voted that way, that's because they want the whiteness and they identify as whiteness. And a lot of them move to West Allis. And you got the poor ones coming to the north side because they ran them from the south side because they said if you're not going to be good over here, go on the north side with the N-words. But I just needed for these listeners to hear the real truth. So when y'all hear that the Hispanics go a certain way, it's because they feel they're better than blacks and they identify as white. And a lot of them want to get with the white man. But the white man still referred to them as that word that I said, and they still got deported. So for you Hispanics who feel you better as blacks, look at them whites that you keep putting down on your voting block. Have a good day, and I still love you.
Hey, look, that was a lot of conversation about this Jasmine Crockett loss in Houston. They said when they looked at the numbers, the Hispanic community largely voted for the opponent, the person that was running against her. So, like I said, you gotta, people vote their best interest, I guess. But at the end of the day, I try to tell people when it's time to repair the village, you got to bring all your talents back to the block, back to your people, back to where you came up, back to your village, and repair the village. regroup, rethink, and reshape, restore the leadership. Understand what I'm saying? So without saying a lot, because I'm trying to just teach right now. I'm not trying to carve out anything other than just letting you understand that there's a selected idea and there's an elected idea. This is what I'm on today. I could have went a lot of different ways with this conversation, but I want people to just have just an idea of what they're looking at many times when it comes to voting. I know we look at the main ideas of election night and donkey gang and elephant gang, but many times what gets lost in the shuffle is the outcomes that we're looking for and the real results that we need to progress. And it don't matter if we're not voting correctly, because we're left with nothing and wondering why. And that's because many times we're not truly selecting from our side. It's been selected from somewhere else, and we thinking it's going to be used for us. And many times that's not the case. So let's get wiser. That's all. Let's have a situation where we can analyze these elections and say, who the one that's going to be better for us when it comes to economics, housing, and neighborhood development? Who's going to fight for that for us? And look at the background. Do your research. See if they from the block. See if they tied to the status quo. If they coming from the status quo and establishment, you finna get a lot more of what you don't want. Or you may want it. Maybe you in good with the establishment and you cool with it. Maybe you one of the few people that's in good with the establishment and some of that trickle down on you. And you straight. But the community messed up. Nobody don't know what to do. I know what to do. I do it. I get off the air and got to do it. So I don't think about it like that, but I'm trying to finally hope that one day we'll finally get results from our votes. That's it. That's all we want. That's all anybody want. That's all the white people want. That's all the Hispanic people want. That's all any race wants that go and cast their votes is a little piece of the pie. That's it. They vote for their slice. And their slice may not look like yours. What they need over there may not be what you need. So you over there voting buddy, thinking y'all together and coming out with nothing. And that's to me, that's being botted out. Not understanding what you need and then strategize on electing somebody. Notice I said elect somebody to get the job done. Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, I got some stories I'm trying to get into. I want to talk about a couple things. It's a story out of Philadelphia that I want to talk about. Third grade teacher charged with having inappropriate contact with the students. Third grade students. I want to talk about that when we get back. Truth Nation, stay locked in.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Truth Nation is the best fan base in the country.
This is my first time calling in, but I listen to you all the time, and I appreciate you and Elizabeth Brown and everything you stand for and everything that you do. So I want to say thank you so much for being you.
We want you to tap into the talk and text line every show, every day at 833-212-1017.
Hey, man, this station is on fire the last couple days.
Milwaukee Black Talk, 1017 The Truth.
70 million people in the U.S. have learning and thinking differences, like ADHD and dyslexia. Each has their own story. This is ours. At first, I thought it was just a phase. Then schoolwork became a struggle. Emotions got bigger, and my kids started falling behind. I felt alone, like I was lost in the dark trying to find answers. Then I learned about Understood.org, a nonprofit empowering parents and kids like us. It was like we had a light to show us the path ahead. Whenever new challenges came up, their guidance helped us figure out our next step. We still have tough days, but now we have direction. And I have the tools and resources I need to help my child thrive. No matter where you are on the path, Understood can help you keep moving forward. Visit understood.org/yourpath today.
Hey there, Jane Lynch here. You want to hear something funny? Too bad. You want to hear something uplifting that will inspire you? Good. Because today, I want to talk to you about Direct Relief, a humanitarian organization that does seriously good work when it counts. Fires, hurricanes, earthquakes. When disaster strikes, Direct Relief immediately shows up with medicines, medical supplies, and everything doctors and nurses need to save lives. Let's ship her out! Every day across the United States and around the world, they're making an enormous difference. If someone needs help, Direct Relief helps. No politics, no red tape. Hey, what you doing over there?
Oh, I'm packing insulin for kids with diabetes.
See, every box here is literally a lifeline for someone in critical need. So check them out at directrelief.org and donate if you can. You might just bring a smile to someone's face.
We are the home of Milwaukee Black Talk. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Justice Wisconsin, the truth, the most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM, the movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory, Lowe, the truth. From 1 to 4, we about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice, we want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory, Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe. Tory Lowe Show live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. The movement continues. The marathon continues right here on 101.7 The Truth. Thank you for joining me for the third hour of the Tory Lowe Show. And I got a whole bunch of stories that I wanted to get to today. So we got to get on it. Andrew. We may run out of time. We may have to get it tomorrow. But I want to head over to Philadelphia where a third grade teacher, diabolical. This is diabolical. The third grade teacher charged with having inappropriate contact with the students, with the third grade students. We got video on this. We got video and audio. If you're watching this rebroadcast live, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Let's listen.
Concern in Upper Marion tonight after police arrested a teacher accused of inappropriately touching a former student, a third grader at the time. Parents were notified by letter, including Jenny Chu, who has children in the district.
So it was a little shocking, actually.
Police say 39-year-old Zachary Chatone, a teacher at Gulf Elementary School in King of Prussia, is charged with indecent assault and corruption of minors. Investigators say the alleged incident happened 3 years ago, but the victim reported it last fall.
They were very brave to come forward.
According to police, Chatone is accused of having the student sit on his lap during class and then touch them inappropriately. The Upper Marion Area School District says he was immediately placed on leave when police were alerted in August and has not returned to work since.
I feel really sad for the child. I also feel very sad for this man's family. How hard it must be for them.
This former Montgomery County educator who asked not to be identified says the case highlights the importance of ongoing conversations with children.
And I think it's important that children are talked to about inappropriate touch and things like that. And it sounds like this child started to put it together.
Attempts to reach Chatone were unsuccessful Tuesday. It does not appear he has a lawyer yet, according to court records. The school district says he will remain on leave as the case moves forward.
I trust the superintendent, the principal. They will handle the case very well.
All right. Well, this is why, and I know some kids start K4, K5. I think it's even some K3 ideas going on. But you got to make sure, before you send your kid out with these adults, that they understand inappropriate touching. This is why I tell parents, like, anytime your kid have to interact with an adult outside yourself, they better know how to talk. Some of y'all got some young kids in third grade that know how to talk. Like they got, y'all did well by teaching them a good vocabulary. They have a vocabulary where, people can understand what they're saying. But then they have to be taught about inappropriate behavior. And that's the layer that many times I see a lot more adults getting into it with teaching this. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's a must now. It's always been a must. But these kids got to know what is inappropriate touching, even if you got to get the doll out, where the bad man touch you at, you know what I mean? Like, you got to get that doll out and start making sure that these kids understand they private parts. Ain't nobody supposed to do that. And as soon as somebody do that, they got to let you know. It ain't no buddies, ain't no friends, ain't no secrets. This is how they get kids roped into this. Oh, this is our little secret. Or they respect the teacher so much that when they know they feeling weird because something happened, but yet they're not taught how to put it all together. And once they're able to understand, nobody should go in this space. And if anybody go in this space, you let me know right away. You got to teach them, because when they outside of your protection in these schools, running around with other adults, ain't no telling what they might be on. So once again, this is why I always talk about it, because I got to deal with it every day. People calling me about children being touched on or beat up or raped or, and this is where the education starts. It's the tough conversations you got to have. I remember I had to talk to a young girl who had been assaulted in the school. But come to find out, her mother didn't even know that she was talking to boys. I'm trying to figure out what happened with the assault. It wasn't somebody she was talking to. There was another boy. They did it. But I asked her, hey, are you, talking to young men and trying to date? And the mother didn't even know she even was trying to talk to a young man and trying to date. And I'm looking at the mama like, she just found it out right there on the spot where I was talking to the little girl, trying to get out information from the situation. And the mother looking like, I didn't even know it. I was like, well, why are you not talking to your baby? Sometimes the kids don't feel like they can tell parents something, but sometimes you gotta have them tough conversations. Hey, are you talking to boys? And even if they say no, leave the door open for those conversations. Are you talking to girls right now? How you feel about yourself? What's going on with you? As far as how you feel about dealing with whether it's going out to play football or relationships or You gotta leave the door open for a lot of those tough conversations, or these kids, you gonna miss something. Yeah, I know a lot of y'all go to church, y'all so heavenly minded. Y'all, God told you don't talk to nobody. God told you to close them legs. God told you don't do nothing. God told you to choose abstinence. Okay, that's what God told you. There's people out here that's interacting with your kids, and God ain't told them that. I'm just saying. I understand it. But you still got to leave the door open, because if you get to the point where the kids can't feel like they can't talk to you, they're going to talk to somebody. And ain't no telling what that somebody may do. I'm not going to chance it. Now, they know the house rules. Now, the kids got to know the rules. They got to know the family. Don't get out here and embarrass the family. But yet you got to leave room open for education, continued education, and development. Hey, also I want to head over to the story in Los Angeles. Teen girl jumped from moving car to escape attempted kidnapping. Hey, that's powerful. She jumped out of the moving car. Somebody tried to kidnap her. Somebody these are things that you got to have tough conversations with. Instead of you hollering and screaming, try to find a way out by any means necessary. If you're watching this broadcast live, we got video. Let's listen.
The girls were first contacted at North Hills Community Park, right off of Acre Street and Columbus.
LAPD Detective Efren Gutierrez says the suspect pulled up next to two girls, 13 and 16 years old, offering them a ride. This unfolding Sunday late afternoon. He says the girls declined, kept walking until the suspect approaching them a second time several blocks down the road. Yet again, they declined. However, Detective Gutierrez says the suspect kept tracking the girls and offering them a ride a third time at Nordhoff Street and Columbus. This time he says they accepted.
They got into his vehicle and proceeded eastbound. However, instead of going to the location where the girls instructed him to, the suspect drove to the area of Sunburst and Lamona. It is a residential neighborhood, but it's secluded enough, not enough people or vehicle traffic around. The suspect locked the car doors and then offered them money. He offered them alcohol, drugs, and then he began to unzip or unbutton his shorts, where he asked for sexual favors in exchange for money. The girls were frightened. They were able to jump out of the car. The first girl jumped out while the car was stationary, and the second girl jumped out of the car while it was in motion, but neither girl was injured. The girls were screaming for help, and eventually the suspect sped away.
Those girls are so lucky. And again, detectives saying that the suspect they're looking for in his early 20s, they say he fled in an older model 4-door sedan. Now here's the real scary part. He's still out there, folks. Keep your...
Hey, I'm going to say this. It's creeps all around. It's never a time in 24 hours in a day that a creep ain't around. Some of y'all in the house with a creep. y'all want to tell it. Y'all want to tell it. Some of y'all took the offer. We ain't gonna talk about it. But what I'm saying is, these are things that when I was in high school, I used to see men, when I used to walk to the bus stop, pull up on the girls and beep the horn. You know you driving by a high school. You know these high school girls. And at the time, I just thought it was weirdo behavior. And sometimes I would see some of the senior girls get in the cars with older men. And, they had nice rims. It was a Cadillac, nice car, sunroof, leather seats, probably fully loaded. And I would see the girls get in the cars with these older men and just drive off, And I was just thinking, like, you just know it was weird. And I was a deacon in church, too. So I kind of understood, like, okay, there's something wrong right here, but they came to school the next day. It ain't like they got in the car and they didn't come back to school. They was getting in these cars and they was showing up back to school the next day. So I was, kind of like, okay, like, I guess they parents didn't care. I don't know. In my mind at that time, I wasn't the Tory Lowe I am today. I was still developing. I was still learning. But I did feel that feeling like that ain't right. Like even the girls, I used to walk girls to the bus stop because before football practice, especially Kamisha, my son's mother, my wife, Kamisha, we went to high school together, so I would walk her to the bus stop every day because she was only 120 pounds. So until she got on the bus, I wouldn't go to football practice. I would walk her to the bus stop every day, and she was studying to be a doctor because North Division was a medical specialty. So sometimes I had to walk her to the YMCA that was a couple blocks down the street and then run back and try to get into practice. You know, I had to do sometimes I came in late and had to do an extra 20 push-ups because I was coming in late. But I knew to walk her to the bus stop and to the YMCA because I thought that somebody would try to snatch her. But like I said, it's a lot going on. This is something that I'm very passionate about, the education to try to teach these young kids how to defend themselves if they get into situations like this. And obviously these young girls jumped out and didn't suffer, you know, in the way that this guy probably intended them to suffer. But we got to make sure that we protect the village as we move forward. And even if it ain't our baby, if we see something, we got to make sure that we write down license plates. I mean, if I knew what I knew now, I would have called the police on all them old men that were sitting outside North Division waiting for them young girls to come out. I would have called the police on them. Because, they, you know, it's, you know, what is the age limit? What is a fair age distance? I'm just saying. Hey, look, when we come back, we'll have more discussion, Truth Nation. I want to talk about a lot of people are without power due to the storm, due to the blizzard. I want to talk about that when we get back. Truth Nation, stay locked in.
You are listening to The Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Milwaukee Black Talk.
You don't want to be there. You don't like the work. You don't like the people. Now, there are some differences. The only difference is modern American slavery and capitalism versus 19th century. We were dramatically more primitive back then. And a slave that is able to buy their freedom is the same as the disaffected, disgruntled worker that is able to buy their way into entrepreneurship because that for them is free.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
Metastatic breast cancer, or stage 4 breast cancer, happens when cancer spreads beyond the breast to other parts of the body. About 168,000 women are living with it today, with Black women at a higher risk due to various factors. Research has led to treatments that help manage the disease and improve quality of life. The Everyday Counts study explores how nutrition and exercise coaching can support women with metastatic breast cancer. To learn more about the Everyday Counts study in Milwaukee, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu. If you or someone you know has stage 4 breast cancer, please encourage them to call and enroll in this valuable study. Again, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu.
This is The Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Don't look away. Do you wanna be remembered for the things you didn't do? The faces you refused to say. On the right side of history.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. Little punk rock. You know, I love some punk rock. But I guess thousands of people are without energy. We energy customers remain without power after winter storm, at least up until the time I came on the air. I guess we got some video on this. A lot of people are without, legitimately without power, not where the slumlord ain't fixing the furnace or nothing like that. This is due to the storm. If you're watching this, we broadcast live. We got video. Let's listen.
I woke up hearing a big old explosion.
The big explosion that Tarika Miller and her kids heard at 1 Monday morning was a tree falling onto a power line.
Oh, that was terrified because we all just jumped up and just was looking around like, what just happened? Like, wow. They were scared, but we got it together.
We Energy's crews about 8 hours later arrived near 45th and Villard in Milwaukee to get power back to the 24 customers. In Wauwatosa, residents like Jake Anderson only had partial power for roughly 24 hours after a tree damaged a power line near Melvina and 86.
Somebody did come out last night and it looked like they were trying to cut a tree limb but couldn't get it done, so didn't have any updates until about 12 o'clock last night. They said that there was no update and that we should be happy that we still have some power.
By midday Monday, power was back, but residents are left to shovel and restock their fridges.
It's bad. My refrigerator went out. It's stinky.
We did put some stuff outside to try and keep it cold, but pizzas, waffles, that all got soggy and kind of thawed out.
We Energy says since Friday morning, crews have restored power to roughly 170,000 customers, but many are still left.
Times like this is really when we need to look.
Hey, look, this storm was pretty crazy. You know, I thought that we was in the clear. We just had a 65, almost 70-degree day a couple, like, what was that, a week ago or so? And now, look at this. And then the cold, I don't know if it's me, but this is kind of bone-chilling cold. Like where you're not just cold, you can feel it in the bones.
I'll tell you, so it got warm, then it got cold, and now everybody's sick again.
That's what I'm saying, and this is why I say I always wear a sweater all the time, especially around this time. If it's not consistently nice out, I keep a sweater on, and I don't never change my body temperature, no matter what's going on outside around this time. Because if it gets hot out and you go out with less, then it gets cold and that's going to cause a lot of people to get sick.
Yeah, including everybody in this building, Tory. The amount of tissues I've had to use today where we have people coming up being like, do we have a tissue box? Do we have a tissue box?
Wow.
Hand sanitizer. We don't have any Lysol spray anymore. We have I think one box of tissues left around here.
Oh, wow.
I know, it's crazy.
And thanks for the heads up because you told me to kind of disinfect when I came in.
Oh, yeah. No, I come in and I wipe everything down.
Hey, I wiped it down. I didn't get no pushback because you may have saw something I didn't see, so I appreciate that. But hey, look, be sure to dress warm during these times, and I usually deal with people without the electricity, not electricity, but without the heat and the water due to slumlords. But when something like this happens, where power lines go down and thousands of people go without electricity and spoils and things like that. How come they don't get a stipend? Like if the energy goes out, how come people don't get a stipend? Randy West says from trees near power lines. Hey, but you would think, okay, do you get a discount if your energy go out for a couple days? Do they say, okay, we're gonna since your energy went out a couple days, we're going to give you a discount?
I've never heard of that before.
That's what I'm saying. But what if your energy go out, you paying this bill, your energy goes out during the storm, you lose your food, shouldn't they give you a credit, some kind of, at least some coupons or something to replace the food?
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
I think that they should do that.
I don't disagree. I just think that the hassle of calling and trying to get somebody on the phone to fight that would be crazy.
I'm just saying. So you don't have energy for a couple days, but they still gonna send you that bill. Do do they take away the days that you didn't have the energy, or do the bill come out about pretty much the same?
I think it's the same.
Wow.
Do you have a favorite food to eat when like power goes out like that?
I think I like soup.
Yeah.
I think I like the clam chowder idea. When the power goes out, soup and crackers. I just want to eat some soup and crackers, chill, and just relax. If all the power goes out, it's quick, it's simple. You can heat it. I don't even know. You may not can even heat it up. You can take a candle and heat up the can.
That takes a long time.
Chicken noodle soup.
So we just had a caller. Rhonda called in and said they will give you credit if your power's out for a certain amount of time. You got to call and ask for it.
So Ron called in and said they will. I didn't know. Rhonda said this. Okay, well, salute to Rhonda for calling in and kind of establishing that, because I didn't know if that was something that could happen. But Rhonda said, what did she say you have to do?
You got to call in. You got to call in and make your case.
And they'll give you a discount.
Yes.
Okay, see, that's what a lot of the OGs probably know this. Salute. I appreciate Rhonda for calling in and giving us that information. But once again, make sure y'all stay warm during this time. When it goes hot and cold, you can get sick. Also, Milwaukee Snow Response pauses garbage, recycling, and collections right now due to the storm. If your garbage didn't get picked up, it's because seems like they got other things to do. We got some video on this. Let's listen.
Hey, Kim, we brought your questions to the Department of Public Works Commissioner, and I want to get to some of that video. What we're showing you here is that you can actually park on either side of the road because the city hasn't declared a snow emergency. So in a normal situation, when there is a snow emergency, you can only park on one side of the road, but because the city hasn't declared that emergency, you can park on either side of the road today. But the difficulty is going to be getting in and out of the parking spots. Look at some of our video here. You can see since the plows aren't able to get into the parking areas, parking spots on each of your streets, that means it could be hard to get in and out. I asked why not declare a snow emergency. The Department of Public Works Commissioner here in Milwaukee said that they expect the snow out later this week when it warms up, so they didn't think an emergency was needed this go around. Some of you also complained that it felt like the roads weren't being treated. The DPW commissioner said they couldn't brine ahead of time because of all the rain. He says the rain would have washed away that pre-treatment, but he says they did put salt down when they could. We also heard complaints about the number of plows out. Again, I questioned the DPW commissioner. He said they actually have about double what they'd have for a few inches of snow. For that, they'd have about 102 snow plows. But this time he says they have garbage trucks out plowing the snow. That means the city postponed today's garbage pickup. DPW says if your pickup is today, Monday, leave your bin out.
The commutes in the morning for folks that were going to work is a little brutal this morning. As you kind of commute home, even though the winds will be there, the roads are going to look a lot better.
Okay. So they got everything taken care of from what they'd salted the roads already.
Well, have you been driving around today?
Well, he said something about Monday, so.
Have you looked at it today?
It's Wednesday.
Well,
when you get on the north side, it could get tricky. Depending on when they hit the block.
I was walking down here, man, and I saw some people like skidding a little bit.
All I'm saying is, hey, they had the snow plows on the garbage trucks. All right, look, when we come back, we'll have more conversation. Truth Nation, stay locked in.
Don't touch that dial. The Tory Lowe Show will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Discover your new favorite city, Milwaukee. Catch a sunrise over Lake Michigan. Sip your way through craft breweries. And dive into a dining scene that's turning heads. From museums and music to thrilling sports teams and buzzing nightlife, Milwaukee delivers all season long. Good things are always brewing on the Fresh Coast. The expert guides at visitmilwaukee.org have everything you need to fully plan every detail. Whatever it is you'd like to do in Milwaukee. Plan your trip today at visitmilwaukee.org.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer,
providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Breaking down the issues that shape our city and our future.
The worst kind of whites, not that I'm picking on white folks, but you know how it goes, is the ones that think that they will lose something if this country becomes more fair and equal. I'm going to say that again. The worst kind of white people are the ones that think that if a black person gets a job and gets an opportunity, and they ignore how hard the black person had to work and the racism, the bigotry, and the discrimination, and just how people turn their noses up at smart black people. They hate us. And the black person works really hard and overcomes maybe generational curses of poor health and poverty and all of those things. And we got to deal with the police and the criminal justice system that doesn't often have our backs. And then the black person gets a job, gets an opportunity, and a white person sees that and thinks that they lost. Those are the worst kind.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 to noon. Catch it live on YouTube or tune in to 1017 The Truth.
Dad's gonna be far side, good.
What should I do with my dress?
Do the wiggles.
The slate's coming in. What does it feel like when you're down or having a bad day?
It feels sad, like you just don't want to do anything.
All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
I had never experienced players being so down that they can't even participate.
He's just in tears in the huddle. I didn't know what to do.
Teachers need tons of help.
Kids Mental Health Foundation offers educational materials to help guide conversations with our students.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts because kids' mental health starts with all of us. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. Some analysts are getting worried about the health of the private credit sector. Millwood Hobbs is Deputy Chief Investment Officer of Oaktree's strategic credit platform. Speaking as part of a live panel at Bloomberg Invest, Hobbs downplayed the long-term impact of risk in private credit.
If you're patient, I think you will see most of the credit issues will be solved. We will have higher defaults, that's clear. Like everyone in our market's been a genius since 2010. There's been no one that's dumb. So we will have some issues. And I think the other thing you will find is that we'll have some opportunities, right? Because now with the outflows, we have to reprice our capital.
Hobbs speaking as part of a panel at Bloomberg Invest. As a prominent black executive, he's also made it a point to advocate for closing the talent gap and bring more people from underrepresented groups into firms like his. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Xavier Spencer. The Milwaukee Bucks come up short against the Cleveland Cavaliers 123-116. Kevin Porter Jr. had a game putting up 25 points and 10 assists. Doc Rivers says this is a great learning experience for Rollins and Porter Jr.
This is going to be a great learning experience for them in these next few games. They've had it all year. So now they're together. They're both playing. Hopefully we can keep Scoot on the floor the rest of the year. That would be great.
Bucks play the Utah Jazz tomorrow at 8 p.m. The Brewers' home opener is right around the corner after the 2026 World Baseball Classic wrapped up in Miami on Tuesday night. Opening day is next Thursday against the White Sox. Badger basketball earned a 5-seed bid into the March Madness tournament. They kick off the tourney in Portland, Oregon tomorrow at 10:50 a.m. against High Point University. I'm Xavier Spencer, and this is the True Sports Update on 1017 The Truth.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Higher.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. Joining me as we broadcast live, we got advocate, author Elizabeth Brown. How you doing, Queen?
Hey, salute, King. Happy Hump Day.
Hey, happy Hump Day. Another powerful conversation about leadership being elected and selected. It's a difference.
Absolutely.
And I was just trying to break down the difference.
It's the illusion of inclusion. They get you to believe, that you playing a part in certain things, but a lot of things was already picked, or people were already selected. And
okay. Liz froze up. We're going to try to get her back. But there is something in the chat. LaRon says, at 1:30 today, someone was carjacked on Lover's Lane by a 14-year-old and a 7-year-old. According to USFIR, what is the leadership supposed to do or have done? And I think that's a trick question, because many times when you talk about random incidences, every community has random incidences. So you can ask anybody from anywhere at any time when random things happen what they're going to do about it. And the answer is always nothing. So it's a trick question. But what you need to ask is the environment. You have to set the environment up for success. And what you could ask is, are we being set up with the right tools and leadership direction to give us the advantage? That's the real question. So I say we got a long ways to go. That's why I say we got to repair the village, because many times we do gain an advantage when the village is working well. We have an advantage of trying to reduce a lot of these things. So, but you can't have the advantage of reduction if there's consistent mismanagement. Then anything can take place at any time, and that makes it hard to try to get on top of things, because if it's broke at the seams, you got to concentrate on fixing the brokenness so you can gain the advantage. So when things happen like this, people are more organized to try to work against it. So
absolutely,
that's my reply to that question. But once again, Liz, selected leadership versus elected leadership.
Right. I mean, again, it's like I said, you're misled to believe that you are making the selection. We've seen it several times in the city of Milwaukee, where you see, droves of people. Again, the election for Alina Taylor, that the numbers was outstanding. However, in the end, she wound up falling short. We know with the elections commissions and all of the things that have taken place. I don't put nothing past these people. The reality of it is, it's time for us, again, to make sure that certain things are in place, of us having the knowledge to do better and to know better. Therefore, we don't continue to play along to get along, believing that we are electing these people when they're in reality selected. Just like the cosplaying, or shall I say the setup of the superintendent, and how the chief of police and all of that things, how they got the community to come out and engage. Even with the pro sale character, how all of these people who interviewed, who was put on notice and applied that pressure with all of these questions, and at the end of the day, the mayor selected who he wanted to select, even though that person didn't have to stand before the community and answer certain questions, that he decided to do what he wanted to do and pull them people. That's a prime example of selected and elected. Made us believe that the people that came before us, who we were able to question, was going to take that seat of the violence and reaction, or whatever new name they didn't put it under now. Health. What is it? Safety and health, or whatever it is. But again, that's a main example of selected versus elected. You know what I'm saying? Like the people really don't have a say. Again, with this mayor at play, who took our civic engagement on what we should be able to vote against, how they use our money, those dollars, those cents. It don't make no sense because it's not meant to make any sense. The difference between being elected and selected is the simple fact of they make the people believe that these are the individuals we're selecting. But in reality, Tory, what me, you, and a lot of other people in our community understand is the people who are put in front of us are really selected. And this is why we have to be pivotal when it comes to this voting thing. If we're going to continue to participate, to understand that we have to put our own voting blocks together. We have to make sure we have the money in places to put the people that we want to run up against the selected bunch. Because me and you have ran in this city. You ran several times, but we also know that there was no money. District. Right, but there was no money put behind us, and the people that they put in front of us that they selected to put in front of us to elect. We also know that it was individuals in this city who put money behind certain people and have them stand up and run up against individuals who they feel is a threat or individuals that they truly want out. Yeah. That the people standing for. You understand what I'm saying? So the reality of that is it's time for us to get proactive and start putting together our own voting blocks and putting money behind the people that the people want versus who the establishment put out here and put their money behind to go against those of us who are truly about the people. But the people have to make sure that we're standing behind the individuals that we want and making sure that they're prepared to run up against the establishment selected versus the people elected.
We got a poll in the chat. Do you think your leadership is selected or elected? What are they saying, Andrew? What are they saying in the chat? What numbers? What the numbers looking like?
78% say selected, Tory.
Oh, wow.
Amen.
Oh, wow.
Can the church say amen? Amen.
Hey, look,
amen.
Once you can identify it, then now you can start working to make change.
We cooking with hot grease right there. Salute to Truth Nation. Absolutely.
And many times when you talk about funding, if the machine is not behind you, and a lot of these businesses in these districts, they would love to go against the incumbent, but they know that if they, take a shot and miss, that they might get some backlash or they may not have a business. And I know for a fact that some of the businesses that went against certain people in these districts, when it comes to older people, they didn't get their license renewed.
Absolutely.
Or hold on, this the other trick that they do. They'll get some citizens in the neighborhood to come
complain
out and speak against the establishment every time their license come up.
Absolutely. Just like they will get.
I need you to come up here today to speak out against this. I don't like these people. I need you to come up here and speak out against this establishment because, they ain't going to say because they went against them. But this is what they do, too. They play them games as well.
Absolutely. The game is very dirty. That was just like that, what I think it's called a one-stop over off of Atkinson. Remember all of that was going on, and then you had the community members coming out, the hot spot, trying to get it shut down. Yeah, but then the hotspot paid some people to come out and speak on their behalf. Again, we know that the game is dirty. We know that the water is murky. The reality of it is, the beautiful thing is 70% know that these are selections. And now it's time for us, again, like I said, it's really time for us to Votron and put forth the people that we know is about that action and about that business. And we got to put our money where our mouth is, standing behind these individuals, since we know, since the jig is up, that we know that these people are selected. It's time for us, again, to level the battling field and put people in places and put the money behind them. And hey, may the best man and woman win.
Right. And I think that when we start to understand politics and the game.
That part.
We don't even fall for it. You know, we say, okay,
that part.
This person has a track record of dealing with and serving the community. We're gonna we want a person that has noted, not even something that we had to listen to. A lot of times when you put up leadership that you don't even know what they even do, you know it's selected. You can't even say
that part.
What this person even do. You know if you don't know what this person even do, and you ain't even understanding that this person may be selected, I'll say this. You got to go do some digging and seeing, okay, what has this person done in the past before they ran for politics?
Absolutely. And not only do you have to see what have they done, you need to see who stood 10 toes down on them, who signed off on them. You know, when we talk about, me and you highlighted that for the what was his name? The children's court individual who got caught with children porn on his work computer.
Curtis Smith, I think.
No, the one from here.
It's a lot of them, Elizabeth.
No, it was one of the major ones, though. I can't. I mean, forgive me, because I can't. His name ain't ringing a bell. But me and you talked about him so bad. But all of the so-called establishment name brand individuals co-signed for him. Mm-hmm. Like they stood on the side that this was the man. That's who. Absolutely. Him.
I know it's Brett Blummy and Curtis Smith.
Brett Blummy. That's him. But look how many people that was a part of the establishment stood 10 toes down and solidified that he was the person for the job. And then when he got caught with all of these, because we still don't know who he sent the emails to on his work computer. That's still, you know, we still don't know that.
That's more
however,
of a mystery than the Epstein file.
Absolutely. But again, this is why Truth Nation is paying attention, King. And it's powerful that 70% understand the difference between the selection and the election. And now, moving forward, now we know what we're looking at. We can start to set ourselves up to run our own people and put our money behind. And again, Truth Nation, it's not about putting big money up. $5, $10, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can make it happen if we truly want the change that we been about in these streets. That's exactly what we're gonna have to do.
All right. Look, when we come back, I want to get your final thoughts on the show today, Elizabeth Brown. Truth Nation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
You are listening to The Tory Lowe Show on 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com. Coming with straight truth.
We can do anything when it comes to being organized, when it comes to making sure that we're active, when it comes to making sure that we're holding people accountable and making sure that we get something out of the deal. Y'all don't know how to make deals. Y'all mad at Donald J. Trump because he's trying to make deals or trying to say that he's the master of the art of the deal. Well, okay, what deals is you trying to make?
Catch The Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Tacos and Tequila Festival, Saturday, May 30th at Franklin Field, featuring live performances by Shaggy, Rick Ross, Genuine, Soulja Boy, Frankie J, Mims, and more. There will be craft margaritas, Milwaukee's best taco vendors, authentic lucha libre wrestling, an exotic car showcase, a Chihuahua beauty pageant, art installations, and so much more. Tacos and Tequila Festival, Saturday, May 30th. Get your tickets at tacoandtequilafestival.com.
The baked potato just became the main event. At Loaded Spud, we take comfort food and turn it into something bold. Fresh baked potatoes piled high with creative toppings like buffalo chicken, steak and cheese, and classic loaded favorites, all made fresh and built to satisfy. Big flavor, generous portions, no shortcuts. It's fast, affordable, and proudly local. Loaded Spud, Milwaukee's most unexpected comfort food. Stop in today at 789 North Water Street or visit online at www.letsgetloaded.online.
I take care of the kids, and I take care of my dad. I take care of things at work. The groceries, the cleanups, the meltdowns, the doctor's visits, the family events, mealtimes, bedtimes. I take care of all the things everyone else needs. But I haven't made time to take care of what I need.
Family caregivers are often overloaded. It can feel overwhelming and exhausting. It's no surprise that millions of caregivers experience symptoms of anxiety and depression every year. But help is available, because there may only be one you, but you don't have to do it alone. Head to mentalhealthcareworks.org. That's mentalhealthcareworks.org to learn how to get the support you deserve, because mental health care works when you make the call. If you're experiencing a mental health crisis or thoughts of suicide, dial 988, a message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
If you've been injured, let our team help get you back in the game. Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of the Milwaukee Bucks. Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all.
Prizes, exclusive experiences, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting truthcontests.com. That's truthcontests.com.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth, the Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
If you ain't know, I get the pesos. Got a lot of brothers, some of them play bros. They don't want to say it, but they hate Lowe. They all mad cause I got the Tory Lowe.
March 27th at the Riverside Theater, Thanasis Antetokounmpo hosts The Analysis Live with WWE Hall of Famer and global icon himself, Ric Flair. This is not a cameo. This isn't a 5-minute interview. This is a full live show. High energy, unfiltered storytelling, behind the scenes moments you never heard. And if you know the analysis, you know that he's bringing the juice, the energy, the laughs, the surprises. And when Ric Flair grabs the mic, anything can happen. Tickets are limited. Don't wait. Lock in your tickets now at thenalysisnow.com. The Analysis Live, March 27th at the Riverside Theater, presented by Gruber Law Office and Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Also, it starts with a spark, and at Milwaukee College Prep, the spark turns into something extraordinary. From age 3 through 8th grade, MCP nurtures brilliance, building scholars with knowledge, character, and confidence. 88% of students face economic hardship, but this doesn't define them, because at MCP, every child's potential shines. With 4 campuses and one powerful mission, college and beyond, Milwaukee College Prep is high-performing and open to all Milwaukee families. Visit MilwaukeeCollege.com, MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com to enroll or get involved. That's MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com, where Milwaukee's future begins. Elizabeth Brown, another powerful conversation. Let me get your final thoughts.
I mean, again, King, so pivotal that we having these conversations. Again, your show really reminds me of the conversations that, you know, my mother and my grandmother, they used to meet in the kitchen and had a conversations nobody else wanted to have. Absolutely. That we have to know the difference between selection and election. We have to know the difference between... Absolutely. And we have to know the difference between, you know, the falsifies, illusions of inclusions that they have been, you know, feeding us forever. The reality of it is it's a new day. It's a new time. I think a lot of us are now starting to see everything for what it is, and that the majority of the things that was given to us wasn't real, and it was set in place for our demise. I think it's a powerful time that we're looking beyond what we was told, doing our own research, going with our gut feelings, and making sure that the people we looking at just not talking about it, but being about it. We can no longer look at the titles of a person's name without the results that match it. And I think, like I said, it's a pivotal time for us to put the cart where it rightfully belongs. And that's in back of the horse and not in front of it. Thank you for being who you are and using this platform to get people to think. Because sometimes it's not just you have to think logically, you have to think spiritually. A lot of the things it's the things you don't see that set you up to fail, especially in our community, because they keep you looking one way. The distractions of believing that what you're doing is going to matter, but the last 30 years you voted the same way, and we still have nothing to show for it. We're still behind. We're behind any other community. So right now it's pivotal that we stand 10 toes down on what it is that we need to do. And I'm just grateful to be here in this time. So salute to you, salute to Truth Nation, even to the people that still sleep. Eventually, if enough of us wake up, they'll be forced to wake up too. So I'm just glad to be a part of it. I wouldn't have it no other way. And I look forward to what the future brings.
And the thing is, Elizabeth Brown, it's so much that you don't see behind the scenes. It's people that are calling the shots that you have never seen or met in your life, and you will never see these people. You will never know these people, but they're shaping your community every time you go out
every day.
Vote. Yeah. You got to be aware of this. It's more than just the front man.
Always have been, King. And they mislead us to look one way or tell us not to go over there. Don't talk to them because they against this and they against that. And the whole time they've been willing and dealing right over there.
Sure have. I remember when I got to the point where I was invited to everything because people saw me as a person of importance to the people. So I got to go into, they was like, hey, can you come over here and can you go over there? And I would come because I got to see, I got to know, I got to see what's going on. And the people that told a lot of people that these people was bad people, it was all WWE. They was all in there sniggling and giggling and talking and their families know each other and all kinds of stuff. Oh, wow. You know what I mean? It's all marketing. And once you get past the marketing and look outside your window and see what you really need for your community, then you'll start focusing your decision-making on the things that you need as a community to progress. Instead of the fight night, election night, they rile you in as a bot, and now you start throwing up donkey gang or elephant gang on the night of election, but then all of a sudden, a few months down the road, ain't nobody answering your phone call no more because you was used
You've been sacrificed.
as a tool. Yeah.
Absolutely. They used you as a pawn, and the game was sweet for them and sour for you. So the reality of it is, King, like I said, it's a new day. 70% said selected. That's powerful. We're in a powerful place. It's go time. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for it.
It could have went up a little higher, Elizabeth Brown. What was the final tally?
80% say selected, Tory.
80%. It went up.
Hey, look here, King. Look at God. Won't he do it?
Hey.
I mean, it's go time. To know better is to do better. So we working, King.
Hey,
salute.
Hey,
continue to stand up, Truth Nation.
Hey, look, I appreciate you, Queen, for being on the front lines as usual. Well, a lot of people think that the leadership is selected. 80%.
Hey, they know. Salute, King. One love.
All right, Queen. I'll talk to you soon. All right, salute to everybody that joined the show in the chat. Another powerful chat. If you have not joined the chat, you are missing out. I appreciate everybody for chiming into the show today, whether you're listening in, whether you called in, whether you're in the chat. Hey, look, it takes a village, and it's going to take a community to save a community, and we got to repair the community. 2026, it's time to repair the village, and I'm in. I'm all in. Are you all in? We going to see. We got a whole year. Keep your head on a swivel. Green don't always mean go. And look both ways before you cross the streets. I love you. Dr. Ken Harris up next.